Top of the morning, YouTube, barbershop, Kool-Aid Mafia, see you aunties, Cleveland Browns fans, Browns backers. Welcome on into the barbershop, man. We done had a tremendous day today. Hey, man, we excited. We ready to go, and we ready to get you guys into the building. And today is going to be a very good conversation, man. I was excited. Couldn't sleep that much coming into this one, but I'm excited to get on here because I waited a whole week. You know how I always do. I always wait a week and let you guys know. I was looking around, checking to see what everybody else was doing. I was looking around to see what everybody else was reporting, to see if they was going to be on the right frequency, in the right frame of mind, in the right time of what they was talking about. And of course they weren't. I'm going to actually get into my first deep dive. My first impressions, it's been 2 OTAs now. And what I've seen reported has not been the testament that I've been seeing. And today, we're gonna come in here and tell you guys why you should be ecstatic. You should be ecstatic. I did some digging around. You know your boy G. Bush be getting some information. And one of the pieces of information that I got, I said, oh, wait till I tell the chat. Wait till I tell the chat. From people that are inside the organization, from people who are in the know, I was told some things. So, I had to save it till I got on here. Talk to my people. You know what it is, man. Hit that like button. We're going to see what y'all got, man. This is crazy. So it's going to be a good opportunity to have a good conversation. The Browns fans should be happy. Shedeur Sanders fans should be happy. There should be a lot of people that's happy. We're going to break down what's really going on at training camp, what I've been seeing. I waited a long time. I did some digging around. I was quiet. I was light on the first week. I said, let me go ahead and let this thing settle. I want to find out what's going on behind the scenes. We got some stuff to talk about. Be ready to go. 321 people in here right now. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into John Watson. We're going to get into Shedeur Sanders. We're going to get into offensive coordinator talk. Todd Monken was speaking. We're going to get into the receiver tandem, all of this stuff, man. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be one of those shows where you should come away from this thing uplifted. You should come away from this thing excited. You should come away from this thing ready to go. You should come away from this blog and be like, wow, man, I can't wait for the season. So get buckled up, get your coffee ready. You know I was ready to go if I pulled up at 9 o'clock on the dot. You know I was ready. I had something in the tuck if I came at 9. So get ready to go. We're going to have a great show today. And, of course, you're listening to the most electrifying, the most truthful, the most impactful, the most electrifying show in all of Cleveland. You already know what type of time we is. Get your clippers ready. Get that coffee ready, because you know it's your boy G. Bush in the barbershop. Nah, we're not even going to wait on this. We're not even going to wait on this. Bring that back. Where J Mac Too Fresh at? Here, where we at? We're not even going to wait on it. Throw it up there for me, Rosie. That's the way we like to start off this thing in the morning. J Mac Too Fresh gifted 5D Bush memberships. That's what I'm talking about, J Mac. I appreciate you, bro. That's the way you start this thing off, right? That's the way you got to get it. Let's go. Listen, hey, Alexander Gallant, it's always go Browns. You already know what it is, man. Hey, hold on. Hey, listen. Informed and blessed says, nah, it was 901, dog. Yep, you were on time, brown girl. She said, yep, you was on time. Let's go. Let me get right off into this situation right now. I think there's a lot of people that is not seeing what the forest is for these trees, man. What I've been looking at for the last couple of days, and I've been watching, talking, throwing things out, going to talk to people, reaching out to dudes, reaching out to the people. And the one thing that I consistently come back with was this. The Cleveland Browns is even more excited about the pieces and parts they got now than when they started OTAs. They're excited about it. These young guys, these young dudes that they got them in the building, and they're like, whoa, we thought they was okay. We thought they had upside, but we did not think that they had this level of already. Like I call it the alreadiness. Like, you know how it be. Sometimes you could be doing something today and it'd be like, ooh, already. Like they got a level of alreadiness to them. Already ready to go. Already getting to what they need to get to. Already locked in and focused. And so I came into the conversation trying to come in and talk about what I wanted to see, because, you know, I got to dig around on the quarterbacks. But what I came back with was more of a total effect of what was going on. Not only did I get some quarterback conversation, but I also got, guess what? I got everybody else. I got running back news. I got wide receiver news. I got people that's sitting around saying, ooh, these receiving cores. Ooh, these young dudes. These young dudes is ready to go. And they're going to contribute early and often. Contribute early and often. Let me tell you this. I think the thing that we've missed so far, and we will get to the quarterback situation. Y'all, the thing that we getting right now is there's so many people that are drilled down on the Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders thing. They're missing it. I had a conversation with Adam the Bull and Jason Lloyd, and he said that we're looking at a situation where it's a 10% chance that they get average quarterback play. I said, bro, you crazy. You ain't lost your mind, bro. Come on, Bull. You really? 10%? I said, just by what they got up front, is worth percentage points. Just by what they got at receiver is percentage points. Just by the fact that Quinshon Judkins is coming back looking explosive, we'll get to him as well. He looks more explosive than he was. It's crazy. And then all of a sudden, now we see we got guys that you didn't even expect to be nothing. Offensive line looks upgraded. Receivers look upgraded. And the biggest thing that I keep trying to tell people, and it's been evident in training camp, is this. Guys is running around wide open. You know why guys is running around wide open? It's because Todd Monken is calling the plays. It's because Todd Monken has motion. Todd Monken puts receivers in a position to get clean, easy releases. And now everybody wants to get to a point. I heard Darryl Ryder say it. Yeah, listen, y'all can either mess with my boy G. Bush. Y'all can either mess with me now or later, like the candy. You can even come around now, or you just look crazy later. Because I was one of the first people in the game to even say something about 7-8 games. Now 7-8 games seems to be the regular. 7-8 older. Darryl Ryder came on 92.3 The Fan, and he said, listen, let me just throw this out there. Now, don't this sound like something G. Bush done said? I said a couple of days ago, if you think that you're about to be out here and you're going to lose your way into a sweepstake of a quarterback, you're in trouble. Your roster's too good. You're going to have to be mad at Andrew Berry, because now ain't no certain. You think they're going to win 4 games? Not with this roster. And the problem is, you got young, hungry dudes that have already contributed last year, young, hungry dudes that's buying in now, a young, hungry coach that ain't got no time to be playing with y'all. And on top of that, you got somebody like who? Andrew Berry, that knows what his mandate is. Do you think they're going to be out here tanking? Do you think they're about to take these L's? No. And the spirit and the energy is just completely different. The Cleveland Browns have radical energy right now. You say, what's radical energy? Radical energy is movement energy. We ain't taking it no more energy. And the thing that's being missed in this camp is they're better all the way around. Everywhere. Corners, safeties, linebacker. Quincy Williams looks great. They're getting turnovers in practice. And now trust me, I said it's just turnovers, right? I told somebody like this, and I forget who said this. Who said this? I want to give credit because I like to give people credit for their joints, right? But somebody said it. Now, I always been saying temper your expectation because you're going to find out who the real quarterback is when the real pass get on, right? But my thing is that like this too. If every single year we talk about Myles Garrett, if every single year we talk about Myles Garrett and why he ain't here, because you wanted to be here in his camp, well, that means to a certain extent, don't that mean you feel camp is important? If you want Myles Garrett here and you know he's going to give you 20 sacks every year and you want him here, wouldn't you say that you want him here because why? It would mean that you believe it's important, right? So if you say that on that opposite end and I say, well, look at these young guys balling in camp, you say, oh, it's just camp. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't have it both ways. Either camp is important or camp not important. Make a decision. See, I'd be exposing the fluctuating scales. The scales of integrity be moving back and forth. You want Myles Garrett here, the best defensive player, even though you know he's him, even though you know he's nice, but and we mentioned anybody else. Oh, it's just camp. Don't get too excited. Well, what you want Myles Garrett here for then? I'm just asking. That ain't even a thesis. We're not even going there today. We're not even going there today. Let me tell you, I want to get into this little quick story. Because I think the narrative out there today is that when you say somebody's name enough. Now, my preface is I'm going to show you some content. Matter of fact, let me just throw this out here. Yep. I want you to see. Here we go. I'm going to start by saying this. I want the people that I reached out to, the thing that they said they was impressed by Deshaun Watson was the fact that Deshaun Watson does not look like he's injured or was injured. The thing that stood out the most to them was the athleticism, the way it looks like after his injury, his arm strength came back. Also, they talked about how they use him to see. Now, usually you guys don't know this, but there's clips of him running the ball, right? There's clips of him here. Let me move this. I told you. Listen. Let me get this together. Hold on. I got y'all. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Let me see. Let me move this out the way. So the thing I look at it about Deshaun Watson is the thing that they've been excited about was Deshaun Watson looks like he still has arm strength. He still has the quickness, and he still has some of the things that really made him what Deshaun Watson was. And a lot of people consider this to be a big surprise because Deshaun Watson, the last time we saw him, was not this type of player. And the one thing that I look at is I think the Cleveland Browns have done a really good job of rehabilitating and rebuilding the confidence with Deshaun Watson. I think that Deshaun Watson is fully healthy. I think this is the healthiest he's been in a long time. See that play right here? See that play right there? I was told specifically those are the type of plays that they want to use in the offseason to gauge whether or not where he's at in his maturation, right? That's a dime right there. That's a great throw. Hey, you see how hey, Jerry Judy, you see how he came back for that football? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. He threw a nice ball. And the thing that they're excited about was we didn't see that arm strength. We didn't see that arm strength. That's a nice step pause right there. Jerry Judy actually want to catch the ball a little bit. Huh? But the thing that people say and things that people have been really getting at is they, as he's running here, they want to put him in a position where he has to move, where he can't think about the Achilles. He got to just point and go. And so these are the things that they're working on with him to rehabilitate his thoughts, to rehabilitate his instincts, so that when the bullets do get to flying, he's able to just play. Jerry Judy, again, good gracious, man. Come on, man. But the plan that was talked about, and as I reached out to people, was what they're doing is 2 different track records. They're working with players on 2 different tracks. The things that they're having Deshaun Watson work on are specific to Deshaun Watson and his progress and what they want to see from him. The thing that they're working with Shedeur Sanders on is what they're expecting to see from Shedeur Sanders in the maturation project, and also the progression and what they wanted to see him as they gave him his playbook and gave him his directions on what they wanted to see from him coming up. And so I look at it, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this guy's ahead." Dang, Jerry Judy, man, my God, I can't even get through my doggone monologue because look at this. Can you count how many Jerry Judy tip passes? Come on, man. It messed my whole monologue up, man. This guy, dang. Like, we can't have that, dog. I don't care who at quarterback. We cannot have that, bro. This stuff is crazy, man. The lack of concentration. That's why I'm glad I got 2 receivers. Good gracious. They've been working on 2 different areas, 2 different things, 2 different steps, 2 different progressions. And so because what they're working on with Deshaun Watson looks like, oh, wow. Deshaun Watson throwing the ball downfield. Deshaun Watson finding people downfield. Deshaun Watson is a different game plan. Because before, when we seen Deshaun Watson, one of the knocks on him was he does not have accuracy over 10 yards. He had the shoulder injury, didn't have the accuracy over 10 yards. He didn't have much zip on the football. In camp, they're putting him in places where they're testing his injuries. See, this is why barbershop different. See, I ain't gonna come out. See, you thought I was slipping. You thought I was slipping out here. Oh no. If I ain't got nothing to say, remember your grandmother say, if you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing at all. I ain't gonna come out here and make up nothing. I got to go back and do some research and figure out what's going on before I make it. Last week, I'm like, whatever they want to do, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we done got some confirmation. They're working on the areas that they got concerns about. That's why you see him throwing the deep ball, because they want to see if he can get it there. They want to see if he has the accuracy 10 to 15 yards in an intermediate passing game. That's what they want. Why do you think they're running read options and different things that having rollouts? Because they want to see, let's see what the Achilles is looking like. Let's see what the athleticism is about, right? So those are the things that they're looking at. And when you see these throws and when you see them, and I will say this, and there's no hate, I think Deshaun Watson looks better than advertised. He looks better than advertised. Even in shorts, he looks better than it was when the last time I saw him. And remember, I'm the dude that said 4,500. So I ain't a hater. I just call it like I see it. Now, let's get to this. These for all these other cats. Let's get to this. So after we talked about Deshaun Watson and we got to talking about what it is, we also got to talk about Shedeur Sanders. And the thing about Shedeur Sanders is this. As much as people have thought and said that they like Deshaun Watson and is excited, like, wow, we didn't expect that from Deshaun Watson, they continue to be over the top excited about Shedeur Sanders. 2-3 people, different places. Dang, man, they're excited about, to where he was at, progressions, quickness, understanding the offense, understanding where the ball is supposed to be at, understand the preciseness of where the routes moving the team, understanding where to move guys in motion. They said it's night and day. They talk about how completely impressed they are with the way he's throwing the football. And also talked about 2 different tracks. The reason they're doing 2 spots, the reason they're splitting guys up over here and splitting guys up over here and splitting guys up over here is because the things that they want Shedeur Sanders to work on ain't the same things they want Deshaun Watson to work on. It ain't the same program. And it makes sense. It makes sense for people when you put it into that context. When you put it into the context and you watch it, people say, oh, it's all dink and dunk. Nah. If you watch it, this is timing routes. Timing, how quick the ball is getting out. Huh? When you watch it, 1,000, 2,000, quick throws. Look, we ain't doing a bunch of scrambling. We ain't doing, if it ain't there, get upfield. If it ain't there, you notice it ain't no, hold on, bring that back. Bring that back. Hold on, where you at, G Bush? My dog mic. When you talk about this, it ain't, oh, let me get outside the pocket. There's parameters. If it ain't there, 1,000, 2, now we upfield. You see what I'm saying? We're not wasting no time. This goes back to what you're trying to coach. You're trying to coach the timing. You're trying to coach the rhythm, understanding where the pressure is coming and where you got to be. You see how these are tight window throws? You see that? Come on, man. Come on. You're gonna mess my monologue up. Come on now. I don't even know who you is. Give me another receiver in here that want to catch, coach. Hey, you go on the side. Figure it out. Can't keep having that. Can't keep having that. But back to the lesson at hand. It's about quick decisions, timing. Boom. Catch the doggone ball. See, this is the things I'm talking about. This is the things I'm talking about. Y'all messing me up. Rosie, do you got somebody that can catch the ball in the Philippines? Yup. Rosie says she'll catch these. Look at this. Right in your hands, fam. No, don't tap your helmet. Catch the ball. Okay. But it's all about tithing. It's about the rhythm. It's about understanding, okay, let me run this out. Look, that boy Denzel Boston. He gonna mess around and get all y'all's minutes. Let me tell you something. That 12 gonna be a player over there, boy. And you know who used to throw the 12 before. You know who you 12 used to be in Colorado. You know, all we want is a 12. You know what it is. See? Ain't enough. He catching the ball. So when you looking at it, and as I was talking about it, it's what we're looking for is the rhythm and it's the pace of the game. The one thing that it happened with Shedeur Sanders is the game slowed down for him a little bit. The game slowed down. You got to catch that. Look at this. You got to catch that. You. Boy. Come on, my G. Come on now. Come on now. He ain't dropping dimes. He ain't cooking. He not. Oh, by the way, let me just tell y'all something like this. The way it worked in practice is when you throw dimes like this, this is a minus on the receiver. They counting that. So in the production room, they put that's a missed assignment, that's a drop, and that counts as a touchdown. Because they like, listen, if we'd had competent play, you did what you were supposed to get on that play. He's getting a minus. But the ball's right in your hands, son. Ball's right in your hands, fam. Touchdown. So, but when I spoke to these individuals, it gave me a different perspective on what it is, why it is, and how it is. As you can see, Todd Monken right in his ear. This is about understanding and giving him an opportunity to understand what the concept is, what is the heartbeat of the, more than anything. It's more about, I want you to see this field the same way the offensive coordinators and the play callers see it when they draw it up. That's the reason why you have those little mics and different things on the front of the cameras on the front of their helmets. It's because you want to see what they see. So with that context of those guys wanting to see exactly what they see and getting those guys acclimated in their own unique way, it puts in perspective the quarterback competition. Because if you don't know that context going into what you're watching, you going out to practice and you don't get it. See, sometimes you're going to go out to practice and they're going to have certain plays called. Here's the reality. You don't know what that play is. That play can be 4 streaks. That can be short routes. It could be short timing routes. They're not getting the same play. Deshaun Watson play that he's calling is not the same play that Shedeur Sanders is going to get on another field, and vice versa. The things that they want to see them work on 2 different tracks is not the exact same thing. So we always talk about who's ahead, who's doing this. It's obvious. Well, look, we're going to get to this because sometimes you can have it wrong. But first and foremost, let's go by what the offensive coordinator said.
That both of those guys and really all of our guys are progressing very well. Very pleased in what we've seen in the growth. Like I said, a lot of it's the familiarity with the system, getting a little more comfortable as we move on. But their progression, just in the short time that we've been so far, is very encouraging, and we're excited about that. I don't know that we have somebody who's ahead. Like I said, we're pleased with both their progress, and all the guys are doing a nice job.
That's it. That's the answer to asking who's ahead in the competition. I'll go back and rewind it for you. Let's rewind it for you.
I think that both of those guys and really all of our guys are progressing very well. Very pleased in what we've seen in the growth. Like I said, a lot of it's the familiarity with the system, getting a little more comfortable as we move on. But their progression, just in the short time that we've been so far, is very encouraging, and we're excited about that. I don't know that we have somebody who's ahead. Like I said, we're pleased with both their progress, and all the guys are doing a nice job.
Don't need to hear the coach say, yeah, he's got an edge. I can see that. You know, if you're out there as much as we're allowed to be, you can see there is an edge there. And I don't think there's anything Shedeur can do in the spring season to catch up, because Watson's not going to have a setback unless it's an injury.
Right.
You know, he's not going to start throwing interceptions all over the place in shorts, right?
Right.
He just isn't. So Shedeur can make up the ground, though, when it gets competitive in training camp and preseason. So I fully expect at some point Monken will say, hey, listen, we're going to go into camp in July with Deshaun number 1, Shedeur number 2. I would expect to hear that.
So that was Tony Grossi. Now, here's the thing I will actually, I agree with one thing he actually said, and we'll tell you what that is. He said, now I don't agree with the perception of, oh, he's behind. He goes on to say, I don't need the coach to tell me that. Oh, actually, we do need the coach to tell us that. Actually, that's kind of how it works. They were like, listen, I don't even need the boss to tell me my timesheet was approved. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you do. That's the thing I'm talking about. Yeah, you kind of need that confirmation. Here's what I'm saying that I kind of agree with. In terms of Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, the thing that people don't understand is there are players who look great in practice, and there's players who was like, I wasn't a practice player. I wasn't. I wasn't a practice player. Like I was like, okay, like I can get this off. I'm more of a mental, trying to get the speed of the game, figuring out what my plan of attack. But in terms of going out there like practice and be crazy like that, nah. That's not what I was. And the thing about Shedeur Sanders is where Shedeur Sanders is special is when the game starts. That's where his superpower is. That's his superpower. It ain't practice throws. It ain't great There's quarterbacks who used to have that. Brett Favre used to have that. Quarterbacks that never really looked like they had the strongest arm, never looked like they was the fastest, never looked like they was really that. But when you see a game against the Tennessee Titans and he's moving around and he's getting out of trouble and he's hard to bring down, and I thought he wasn't that good of a quarterback. He's a statue. Or now he's showing way more mobility. Like you say, oh, he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he cuts one loose. Or he doesn't have the biggest arm in the world, but you say, ooh, that was a rope. See, Shedeur Sanders is a game-time quarterback. And trust me, that's where things process, and that's where things get hairy. And sometimes you could be a great person when everything is looking good, but when everything gets to where it needs to be, guess what? You're going to have guys and everything breaks down. That's where it's at. And so if you ask me, being a person who's watched Deshaun Watson play for his entire career see, that's the thing too. I'm a football junkie. A lot of these people just write or they do their job and trust me, they don't got time to be doing that. But for me, I'm a football junkie. I watched Deshaun Watson play in Georgia I remember Deshaun Watson being one of the top-rated quarterbacks coming out. I watched his career at Clemson. I followed him all the way through with the Texans because y'all got to remember this. The Cleveland Browns had the opportunity to draft Deshaun Watson, and they passed on him, and I was hot about that. So I've seen Deshaun Watson for years and years and years and years. And the thing that you got to understand about Deshaun Watson is he's a natural thrower of the football. What do you mean by that? It's one of those things where you come out and you talk about, go back to Ryan Leaf. If you looked at Ryan, dang, I'm dating myself. This is 1997, 1998. Go back and watch Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning and watch those two throw. Now, if you are not old enough, you like, who the heck is Ryan Leaf? Well, Ryan Leaf was coming out of Washington State. Peyton Manning was coming out of Tennessee. The comparison was, who are you going to take? Are the Indianapolis Colts going to take one or the other? And it was down to a wire, and they eventually made the right decision and took Peyton Manning, won Super Bowls, became one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Ryan Leaf went to the San Diego Chargers, busted out of the league, and was done. So when you look at it, but when they came out, the reason why it was so close was because Peyton Manning was not a great athlete. His throwing motion wasn't the most crisp. Sometimes he threw the ball and the ball came out and the ball was a little wobbly, really didn't have a spiral on it. A lot of those things. But the thing that separated Peyton Manning that you couldn't understand, that you could see readily, was the fact that he was the supercomputer. That's why it was disrespectful you called Dylan Gabriel the supercomputer. I didn't watch the supercomputer before. You talk about supercomputer. Nah. This is the father, the mastermind of Omaha. This was the mastermind of manipulating safeties before he was the first Professor X. He had cerebro. He would just move you. Yeah, I'm going over here. Yeah, I'm going over here. I see you over there. Dime, touchdown, Colts. Yeah, you thought I was over there. Ah, got you. Oh, you thought I was over there? Mm-hmm. 2 high safeties. I know you rotating down. You rotating down to 1 high safety. You trying to bait me with the robber. I see you. Pump fake. Throw in the court. Marvin Harrison, touchdown. Come on now. I seen the first supercomputer. But the thing that really got people messed up a little bit was the simple fact that he was looking that good in shorts. Ryan Leaf was arm 6'5", throwing the ball on a rope from one hash to the other, making throws off one leg. I'm like, man, this dude was the epitome of what you would like in a quarterback. And when you see people do that, it's intoxicating. It's the equivalent of seeing Steph Curry shoot from half court. Nah, we ain't getting a layup. We're gonna pull up at that. We're gonna pull up at the 3-point line. We ain't even forget dunks. When Steph Curry started, nobody had dagger threes before Steph. No, the dagger three. There are certain moves that never, ever, ever came about. Dagger threes is new. Everybody ran the 3-man weave and a 3-on-1 fast break and you get your layup or your dunk. And the crowd went crazy. Then Steph Curry came out and invented what we call the dagger three. It even hurt worse than a highlight dunk. If Vince Carter go down and Vince Carter get a highlight windmill, you're like, oh, that's crazy. You automatically got to get a timeout. The crowd go crazy. Then a little dude named Steph Curry start pulling up 1-on-3 fat, don't even have the numbers. He just pulling up by himself. Nothing but net. And then the announcers didn't make it no better. Bang! Steph Curry puts it in. Bang! Bro, it hurt your heart. You got to call 2 timeouts. Give me a television timeout. I need a 20-second. And give me an injury timeout too. You got to call timeout. Crowd going crazy. Off a 3-pointer. So when you see Deshaun Watson, there's not going to be very many pure throwers of the football just without nothing and doing nothing. You're not going to see that. Spiral 96% of the time. Strong arm. Long, lean, athletic. Usually good, solid mechanics. He's going to look like the prototypical quarterback, and it's going to be clean and ready to go. See, but the thing is, the football people know where the real football people understand something. The understanding comes from, we don't play in shorts. It looked good that time. But what about if I'm in your face? Everybody can shoot threes wide open. Every pro should be able to hit threes wide open. You're a pro. You're supposed to hit that 10 out of 10 times. But can you do it with somebody making you move off your spot? Can you do it? Can you shoot standing still or coming off a screen? Because it's 2 different skill sets. Shooting and coming off a screen is different from shooting regular. Coming off a screen, you got to get your feet set and get it up quick. By the way, can you do it when somebody is taller on you? Can you do it when somebody closes out on you? Can you do it when you have to dribble and have a step back? See, there's different layers to this, and it's just the same way with quarterbacks. You look great now. Everybody looking good now. The point is, can you do that when somebody in your face and they ready to come get you? It's the speed of the game. The processing under pressure is what a quarterback's job is. Processing, diagnosing under extreme pressure, just like that. Every other play. You did it once, do it again. Did it once, do it again. Uh-oh, receiver, he's not there. What are you doing? Tuck it down and run. Understanding that. Now, when you juxtapose the 2 quarterbacks and you look at Shedeur Sanders has the innate opportunity and innate ability that even when he does not look as polished as Deshaun Watson throwing the ball on air, the thing that Shedeur Sanders does is it seems to have, he has the ability to magnify his skill set under pressure. And that you can't buy. That you can't buy at all. When we say he making plays, that's what we talk about. Making plays. And so when you talk, this is why y'all got to tap in, catch up. You know, even the haters got to understand, like, bro, the haters come, y'all be hating. But guess what? I come over here and I'm going to give you the sermon just like I give the believers. Sit up. One day you might come on over to the Lord. I'm going to give you the same conversation. We welcome everybody in because ain't nobody going to give it to you like this. Half the reason you watch is because you know them, right? You just hate to admit it. The reality is that there's a gift, and that's when Todd Monken says the players will know who the guy is. The players will know who the guy is because when we get to practicing full pads, 11 on 11, scrimmaging against other NFL teams like the Bills, and the preseason games, you're going to get an opportunity to see what it is that happens when you have to make decisions like this under pressure. Got to do it again, repetition. Do you ever remember that on Drumline? I love the movie Drumline. You remember on the Drumline, they was doing a drum test and they was drumming. Right? And everybody was nailing it. Everybody looking, yeah, I'm nice. I'm nice. You know what I'm saying? I've been drumming like this forever. I learned that in Prince's uncle. I play 7 instruments. You know what he did? He said, that's nice. Here's what I want you to do. Everybody can do that right now. But what if I put you under a little pressure? Follow me. He started walking backwards. Oh, it's a little more difficult now. Oh, so you mean I gotta drum? You mean I gotta drum and be on beat and still move? Of course you do. What happened? Can you do that if I blindfold you? And watch this. It's even levels to that. It's even levels to that. Because maybe you can do that, Mr. Miles. He'd be like, I'm a savant. He said, come on forward. Mr. Miles is like, this is like, they're like, he the truth. He the Neo, he in the Matrix right now. He the one. Until they was in that classroom. An old boy found out his weakness. He said, drummers, go ahead. I got this new piece I want y'all to try out with. The head dude said, okay, now let Devin get that. Devin looked like he saw a ghost. Huh? Nah, I'm cool. He like, nah, you got it. Go ahead out there. Go out here. Drumline, hey, doctor, old boy. He says, hey, Mr. Miles, I ain't got all day. Here's the sheet music. Get to playing. You know what he did? Forget this stupid music. I only want to do this no way. Dropped the sticks and walked out. See, what they didn't tell you was he couldn't read sheet music. Come to find out, could not read sheet music. He was naturally gifted, naturally understood the flow of the game, naturally could play outside, inside of pockets and different things like that. And it was light to him. There you go, Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee, he said, bro, he getting to him, boom, 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 boom. Devin was cold with it. Naturally gifted, naturally talented, understood it. But his kryptonite was he didn't know the structure. Sheet music is the structure. Sheet music is the rhythm, the timing, understanding, giving you the game, above the game, giving you the why, not just telling you. Remember what Shedeur Sanders said last year? I'm just not one of them dudes that just, I got to learn by seeing. I got to learn by doing. I got to learn. I want, like, explain to me why this is what this is. And by the end of the movie, once Devin understood and mixed his ability to naturally be able to catch rhythms, to drum, to do those things, to play out a structure. When he got the structure together and put the whole thing together, it was a problem. Because now you got the whole package. I can teach you structure. I can teach you where the ball, I can teach you the why. I can teach you the how. I can teach you all those things. But I can't teach you the it. I can't teach you how to it slow you down. The game's slow for you. You see a little something nobody else seen, right? So if you think about the movie Drumline and you understand the movie's Drumline, in order to reach the highest levels, you have to know the why. And once you get the why and the timing together and you do it under pressure, that's when it gels. You can never get the timing without the pressure. You can never get the development without the pressure. And the one thing that we have not seen and we have not had in camp is the pressure. So the thing that people are missing is this. You can't have anybody. You can't have anybody that is expected to take the mantle of anything unless there is pressure. Every story written literally is the hero's journey. Everybody knows every literary term is a hero's journey. The hero sets off on a journey to find out about himself. He fails in the beginning. Then he realizes that it wasn't about what he thought it was, finds his true motivation, his true skill, his true purpose, and then comes full circle to defeat what he once was failing at. It's Lord of the Rings. It's Drumline. It's Power Rangers. It's whatever you want. Every story is written from that. And so if you take a look at this saga in terms of what it is with Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, this is exactly what it is. You got one person who's fighting to get back and stay in the league, fighting to get to the top of the mountain, fighting to get there, to stay in the league. Another person left for dead, left at the wayside, underappreciated, overlooked. This is the Matrix. After the first year, after the first Matrix, we thought Neo was the truth. We're like, oh, Neo the one in Matrix. Until he came back in that second Matrix and realized, bro, that was just the start of things. That was just the beginning. And a lot of y'all don't be understanding. This is just the beginning. This is nothing. This thing will go all the way down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason you're going to win this, right? And who's going to win this competition has less to do with what you're doing today and more about what the progress you're making on what they want to see you do. Remember I told y'all this. even if you want to believe, and I'll give it to you, even if you want to, if Deshaun Watson is ahead, right? Deshaun Watson has to overkill it. It can't even be close. I'm just keeping it real with you. It can't be close. At this moment, what they're gauging is this. Deshaun Watson, even if he may be better at this point in terms of the way he looks like throwing the football, he has to overkill it. Because if it's anything close to a young guy, trust me, they're going to play a young guy. I had the same conversation when I was in college. I had came off injury. I was the highest recruited person that we didn't have at McKinley coming in OU for a long period of time. I had back-to-back ACL injuries. I finally, back-to-back ACL. My red shirt, after my last game of my red shirt freshman year, tore my ACL. Then I rehabbed it all offseason. Came back. Tore my other ACL right before we played the first game of my red shirt sophomore year. I missed my entire red shirt sophomore year, the entire one. I came back my red shirt junior year, and I finally got back onto the field and was ready to play. And during that process, all I really wanted to do was prove to myself that I could go out there and not get hurt. And I came out there, I flashed, I had some games, and I said, okay, I'm going to get some training, be ready to go after this offseason, right? So I got the momentum. I'm excited. I'm like, my knees are rehab. I'm really ready to get back going, and people is excited. Spring ball came around, had back surgery. So now I'm out all spring. Now we get to I'm in my redshirt senior year. We get to practice, and I'm looking around, and they're like, I'm like, why am I'm rotating with this guy? Why am I rotating with these young dudes? He ain't even good. He's not strong. He ain't better than me at nothing. He ain't better than me at nothing. So we rotate. I'm doing my treatment. I'm ready to go. I'm fully healthy now. I'm ready to go. We get to the first part of camp. They got me working with the twos. I'm like, the twos? Then it got crazier. They had me in there rotating with the twos. I wasn't even the first up with the twos. Man, I went in. Mind you, I got a new position coach. My position coach was Coach Washington. Shout out to Eric Washington. He was shout out to him. He was a defensive coordinator. He was at Northwestern. He'd been with the Carolina Panthers. Defensive coordinator, Chicago Bears. Shout out to Coach Wash. He's my position coach. And he loved me. We had a new position coach, younger guy. And I went in, I was hot. I said, bro, what are we actually doing here? What are we doing? I said, this guy ain't no better than me. And they gave me some politically correct answer. Hey, we're trying to work you back in. We're trying to move. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we want to work you back in. We want to get some of these young guys just in case we get them up and running. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So it comes to the first game against Miami. They like, I'm sitting there waiting on the sideline. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go in. Nope, number not called. I'm waiting to the second quarter. I'm like, what's the deal? I'm about to get something. Nope. By the third quarter, I had my helmet. By the fourth quarter, I'm sitting there realizing for the first time, you ain't about to play. It was crazy because I hadn't been in that position my whole entire life. What do you mean? What do you mean? Man, I go out, I was hot. All the people who had major injuries had to have treatment on Sunday. And I was in there hot. I was in there with the trainer, and I had spent so much time with him. We developed a great conversation, a great just back and forth. And John Bowman told me that. He said, who was the trainer at the time, he said, I'm going to tell you something because I like you. Because I really like you as a person. Like, I feel like you've given this program a lot, and I feel like you really battled so tough to get back. And he said, the harsh part about when you get injured in this game is that eventually after you get injured, you become an afterthought. You don't become a priority anymore. You become a sunk investment. And they would rather give the reps to a person that's not better than you because they're going to have future ramifications. Giving you all of the reps means nothing. You're a redshirt senior. What are they going to do with that? He said, my best thing for you to be, go out, practice. I would try to redshirt this year and just either redshirt this year and come back next year, and then you'll be super better than everybody, and they'll probably let you play, because by that time we had another coaching regime. That's when Frank Solich came in. Or he said, just take this year off, rehab, get stronger, and go to pro day. And that's what I did. So the long story short, that the whole long story about it was, it is true. At certain points in time, when you're looking around and you want to be a person and you used to be in, they already made the decision to go in a different direction. You just don't know about it because it makes more sense for them to invest in a younger player and a player that's going to grow with them and a player that's going to be that they can mold and shape and do a lot of different things with than assigning a 1-year waiver with you. So that is why when I come out with Deshaun Watson, now could Deshaun Watson win this job? Of course he could. Am I saying that Deshaun Watson hasn't looked good? No, we started off the show by saying I think he had some throws in it and done some things. But for him to win this job outright, he has to be head and shoulders better than Shedeur Sanders, because that's just the way football works. That's just my little tidbit on it. 1,797 people in here. Let's continue to talk about this. I want to get to this. Let me get people's mindset on this. This is Jonathan Peterlin and Nick Wilson talking a little bit about the quarterback situation themselves.
Shedeur to grab hold of the locker room, you make him earn it and then some. So I still think there's a world in which, because it's so early, that is part of the possibility. The standard for Shedeur and what I think fans would accept from Shedeur as acceptable versus Deshaun are two different things. Doesn't mean that's fair, by the way, but I do think, like, if Shedeur was the 16th best quarterback in the NFL, it would be, huge success. If Deshaun is, we go back to that price tag. We go back to the last 4 years and go, why are we doing this again?
And also then it's like, well, wait, so we're not going to pay him again to be the 16th best quarterback. We don't know what the end result is there. And so, I don't know. I'm at a spot where, first off, it's even confusing as to what's coming out of Berea. All these clips look great. Zach Jackson says he throws great passes to then throw passes that miss receivers by a country mile, it feels like. These incredible highlight plays to then follow it up. And the highlights are what goes viral, obviously. Yeah. But then he follows it up, just missing receivers by a lot. And so it's like, but then again, you counter that with the amount of touchdown passes that we do see. At least saw yesterday. Looked like he had a very nice day. Coach Riz lit up my phone in his little notes section, said, practice MVP, Deshaun Watson. I trust Coach Riz's eyes. Like he obviously sees something that he likes out of Deshaun. So it's just it's a whole mixed bag right now, and I find it incredibly interesting.
Well, here's the way I'm gonna give you a little interesting tidbit of how that work is. And it's not confusing to me. Ain't confusing to me. Ain't confusing to me. We know what it is. We know. This is why I love football. This is why I love it. Because I got a spirit of unbotheredness. You know why I'm happy? Because this is a season in which We are learning. Nobody can tell you what you're going to do. We are learning in real time, boys and girls, that you can no longer write a narrative and it means anything. This is the way football is supposed to work. This is the way football is supposed to operate. See, this is the plan from Jump Street. I'm confused. Didn't y'all say that y'all wanted this? Didn't you guys say why was it all off season? We need a quarterback to come in here and push. We need a veteran quarterback to push these guys. We need another dude, Anthony Richardson. We want these other guys, Malik Willis. We want to bring in another guy to compete. We want all these dudes to come compete. Let me tell you why this is the best opportunity for everybody involved. You got two people that's fighting. Yeah, Coach Prime said it. Hey, listen, Shedeur ain't going to be buddy-buddy. She ain't going to be buddy. You guess what? Deshaun Watson ain't going to be buddy-buddy neither. And they done a masterful job of cultivating energy of competition. And then you know what they're doing? They created the energy of competition, but won't even let y'all opine on it. They won't give you no access to it. They won't let you put your thumb on the scale. They won't give you no information. You only be at practice one day. The media only there on Wednesdays. Think about that. See, think about that. You out there Wednesdays, they practice 3 days. You can't even watch no other practices. Can't even be in the building. Not even there. What were they working on those days? Who took first reps those days? Where did you see those days? They won't even let you talk to Deshaun Watson. Shedeur Sanders is not available anymore either. See, Andrew Berry and Todd Monk and them really, boy, they done stepped their PR game all the way up. They done zipped this thing up so cold where they want one band, one sound. One band, one sound. Everything the offensive coordinator is saying, the head coach saying. Andrew Berry been saying it. So what you do is when you keep people vague and on the outside at arm's length distance, guess what you give them? You give them an opportunity to actually compete without the outside stimuli. When people say we control the controllables, and you know what Kevin Stefanski couldn't do? He was out here telling people everything. You can't control the controllables when you talking all the time. But guess what? Now ain't nobody saying nothing. They controlling everything. And for once, you really don't know. See, I'm not afraid to say people. I'm not afraid to tell people, I don't know what they're doing. It's okay to say you don't know what they're doing. I didn't know what they was doing 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know. I got other stuff that I got to do. I'm at the R&B and Wars. I catch up with y'all later. But you know, lo and behold, they started playing a little football. And I heard having people talk around and doing all these things. And, you know, the cool thing about the barbershop, I just checked around. They say, G-Butch. One of the first people they talked about was Shedeur Sanders. And I said, I thought y'all was going to give me the Deshaun Watson joint. They said he was playing well as well. They told me they like what he was, but they said, but when you talked about where they see him, what the progression was, also, they let him know exactly what his game plan was supposed to be going to the offseason. Exactly. From a coaching standpoint, from the infrastructure standpoint, from what they wanted to do off the field and on the field, And one of the reasons that they did this is because they want to see him and say, we want to see you. We want to see you check all the boxes. Don't say jump through the hoops. And I'm out here. Y'all ain't really understanding what I'm talking about. They ain't not understanding, G. Bush. They not getting it. The reason it's necessary to check the boxes is because it's about showing your work. I'll give you another analogy. When you doing math, when you doing college math, everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Put a 1 in the chat. This might not be for nobody who don't really got no upper math. You just might be hating. The haters might not get this analogy. But when you doing that upper level math and you in college and you got your intuitive calculuses, you know what I'm saying? When you doing your analytics, your statistics, your finance courses, the first thing they tell you when you're in a business school is, hey, you gonna come in here, they're gonna give you a paper, and that paper is supposed to be math, but it's all letters and symbols. You like, I thought this was math. What are numbers at? Nah, it's beta and sigma and alpha and 0 to infinities, like it's Buzz Lightyear. Then they tell you, yeah, you're going to come in here. We're going to give you that scrap paper. That's your scrap paper. But guess what they told them? You're going to turn that scrap paper in. Huh? Y'all don't know nothing about turning that scrap paper in. TL care. You put a 1 in the chat. If you put a 1 in the chat, you know about turning that scrap paper in. And the first thing that they say at the bottom of that paper is, hey, show your work. Show your work. Turn all that in. I don't care if you got the right answer at the bottom. It's the process. You got to show your work. You got to turn that paper in. See, I got a lot of 1s in here. This is my educated people. That's why the barbershop different. Y'all, everybody else can't understand that. Maybe you just, no disrespect. You know what it is. Maybe I'm just talking to the real ones. I know this ain't going to get that many likes. Ain't going to get, you talking that math stuff again. I don't know what that dude talking about. G. Bush doing too much. Nah, I'm doing right what I was supposed to do. You turn that paperwork in, right? You know why? Because you got to show your work. Half the test for Shedeur Sanders is not on the field. Y'all didn't even catch that. Half the stuff you talking about for Shedeur Sanders is show your work. And when you mean show your work, that means you showing it to your team. It coincides with what Todd Monken has said from Jump Street. Show your work. And who chooses who the quarterback is? The team. I'm confused. Y'all ain't got it. You ain't got it yet. You're not getting what I'm putting down yet. It's important. It's important that you check every box. If one of them boxes was, you ain't saying nothing to the media. We 0 dark 30. Both Andrew Berry and Todd Monken have given a directive. The directive is our quarterbacks don't speak to anybody. Our quarterbacks ain't on. So you see how cold they did it, though? They didn't come out and acknowledge it. They just came out and was like, our quarterbacks, we'll talk to y'all during the season. But as for now, no. Because they didn't peep the relationship. They understood what was coming this summer. They understood what it was going to be when you decided to keep Deshaun Watson on your roster. They already told you they didn't want him to play. You knew what it was going to be when they told Shedeur Sanders, hey, we only want this quarterback. We want another quarterback. If you think that you're going to lobby openly, you lobbied openly for 6 to 8 months for a completely different quarterback room, why would you think that they're going to give you any tea leave? As a matter of fact, they went the exact opposite because they actually have communicators. They actually have a head coach that's not afraid to take darts and not afraid to tell you how he feels. So you know what they did? The biggest personality has become the coach. You can't go at the coach. You know why? He don't even got a win-loss record yet. So the things you could use against the coach if he was on the hot seat in terms of win-loss record, in terms of what you did last year, in terms of the track record, in terms of the mismanagement of this, that, you can't even use it because he's a blank slate. So the coach becomes the stop sign, the shield, the Jupiter. You know, Earth would get destroyed by all kinds of asteroids. Where are my astronomy people? The reason why life is possible on Earth today is because of Jupiter. You know why? It's massive. All the asteroids, all of the big boulders and rocks that killed the dinosaurs, yeah, 9 times out of 10 they get hit by Jupiter, sucks them up. It's the big brother. It's the big kahuna, the big homie. Now the big homie is Monken. And he really don't care. He'll tell you how you feel, whatever. And you can't really get at Andrew Berry because Andrew Berry keep dropping classic drafts, dropping classic hits, Reasonable Doubt, Life After Death, All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli, dropping classics. 2 classics in a row? Can't say nothing to him. What you gonna say? Can't even really say nothing to Myles Garrett. Because really, why y'all want him at camp is y'all want him talking. You know, Myles is emotional. Let's start asking Myles, is he wasting his career here? Let's ask Myles Garrett as an unofficial team spokesperson. Hey, who's the quarterback? Let's keep asking him. Huh? Let's keep asking him. Miles, you can't even get Myles Garrett to be conquered and divided. He's somewhere out doing what he's going to do. And they ain't giving you nothing on that too. And so what the grand scheme of things, what you get to is, it is in communications and PR, it has been a masterclass in how you diffuse individuals, how you diffuse it. Right? Let me see. Let me show you something.
2.5-minute video that Cam Justice and News 5. It's like a 2.5-minute video that Cam Justice and News 5 put out of Deshaun Watson throwing the ball, quarterbacks throwing the ball. Go right on ahead with what you wanted to observe.
Can we cease and desist? You guys are falling for this again.
I'm not falling for it.
This show is not falling for anything, guys.
There's nobody on defense going against him. We got to see what he does when there's defenses trying to take people's heads off out here.
No, I haven't sent one tweet about minicamp.
7-win team.
I will not send one tweet about minicamp. Hey,
7-win team.
It's nice to see Denzel Boston.
Better than 5-win team, 7-win team.
Having a physical prowess about. But even then, even if everybody's like, oh, this guy looks good. Okay, let's see when we actually get into normal football stuff. We're not falling for it. So if you are spending your time, was it 75 and sunny yesterday in Cleveland?
It was not. Well, it was like 66. Was this one of the degrees.
Was this one of the 40?
Got to bump that up too.
In Berea, it might have been a little warmer than it was where we were.
Okay, so this was one of the now famous Jason Nicholas 40 days of great weather.
45 days
that
of great
you
weather.
get the entire year.
We were at least on the edge of it. Yeah.
We were on the edge. If you spent your day yesterday analyzing that video and then yelling at Daryl Ryder, at Cam Justice, Mary Kay Cabot, Zach Jackson. Well, you should yell at Zach every day. No
Zach deserves the hate.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
But if you are doing that on a day like yesterday and going, you're lying, show the Shedeur touchdown. You're lying. He had 3, not 2. This might not be the sport for you.
Boy, y'all see that I'll be decoding it. Now, shout out to Lima and Ken on this one. I think that more people have a problem with what people say on the internet rather than the entire outcome, right? I still kind of don't understand it. There's 2,000 people in here right now. I'm pretty sure that there's about 70, 80, or 90 people that could be in the chat right now trolling or saying different things. But I don't acknowledge it. What I think more than anything, we are at a place where I keep saying to people, and this is why it's true, Cleveland right now is one of the biggest stories in the world. It is. But I told you that the Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders things was going to be, I told you this weeks ago, months ago. That's why when people laugh and joke and talk about, oh, he's delusional, G. Bush is, he does all of this, these Shedeur Sanders conversation. You must not watch not one video. You can't be watching them. Because if you watch my videos, I got the most diverse content in the planet. There is nobody in this game, in the media, that's a sports journalist. And as a sports journalist who gives you the level of detailed content and different content across the channel, it's not even close and debatable. If you want to talk about somebody that mixes culture, sports, gives you humor, gives you just life, science, economics, all of that, I give it to you in multiple ways. I give you different voices. I give you interviews. I give you family content. I give you restaurant content. I give you shopping content. I give you the final cut with 2 other cats on there. If you believe that he just talks about Shedeur, you haven't watched. So why would I be upset? I think a lot of people get upset because they're going back and forth with people on Twitter. Huh? Why are you getting upset about people going back on Twitter because they support Shedeur Sanders? I'm sure that there's a large population that maybe somewhere that supports Deshaun Watson. But I don't be arguing on the internet with people. By the way, I was one of the people who supports Deshaun Watson. See, the problems you got is, and I gave you this, you're having a problem because you're having a difficult time trying to pick between the lesser of 2 evils in your mind. And I told you the cognitive dissonance would come. I told you it would. You don't like Shedeur and you don't like Deshaun Watson. It's the reason why everybody tried so hard to get all new quarterbacks. When that didn't work, now you're sitting here with cognitive dissonance. You don't want to say, let's push Deshaun Watson in because you said he shouldn't be on the team. You don't like Shedeur Sanders because you've ran him down since he got here. And now you're sitting here and you're forced to talk about 2 people who you don't like either one of them. So what comes off is passive aggressive. What comes off is confused. It comes off as being flip-floppish. It comes off as being insecure. It comes about being emotional. Because you every other day you're like, I cannot believe I'm talking about Deshaun Watson playing. Well, that you should have told yourself that was coming when he was on the roster. I told you 6 years ago he's going to be on the roster. I don't know about Shedeur. I just now You have to come to the conclusion, well, maybe I do want to see Shedeur play more than I don't want to see Shedeur. You see, guys, we all told you that it was coming. Throw in the fact that you really don't like the general manager, and the coach wasn't the head coach you actually wanted either. Now the roster too good. You ain't getting Arch Manning. And you try to tell me G. Bush is stressed out. Are you serious? I'm having the time of my life. I get to talk about football while everybody else is crying and complaining about how they've been aggrieved. How are you aggrieved? You don't play no games. You don't play. We're aggrieved as the media. We've been aggrieved. What do? You guys don't score baskets. We don't do anything. But it's the woe is me. I can't believe I've never seen anything like this. What? People on the internet that disagree with you? You've never seen that before? I don't know what echo chamber we're part of. I don't know. I'm sort of a... Let me ask y'all a question. I'm in the same boat as them. What universe is it where I'm not the same as you guys? I get the same thing y'all get. All the time. I get the same thing. There's people that will say, I don't go hard enough for Shedeur. G. Bush, you should declare him the starter today. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know why? I keep it 1,000. At the end of the day, I stand by what I stand by. And I stand by merits. I interviewed Coach Prime. He said, we're going to go work for what we want to work for. That messed y'all up too. You thought he was going to come up here and tell him, give him the job, he should have it. No. We're going to come and work through it. That's how he want to get it out the mud. I respect that. Get it out the mud. Why would I sit up here and say that? For what? That serves me no purpose. That don't serve him no purpose. Because when we go back to talking about checking the boxes, once them boxes is checked, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Let me explain something to you real quick when I talk about checking boxes. It is why the good Lord showed me what he showed me. He told me, and at the time I didn't understand it. But every time they told you no, every time they doubted you, every time they laughed at you, every time they looked you over, every time that they snickered and laughed and kiki and ha-ha, and every time that they was going on vacation while you was working, every single time when you was taking up them shifts, when you was putting in work and they was going on vacation, hanging out, and you was making a certain under minimum wage, doing whatever you was doing, guess what? You was checking boxes. You were checking boxes. You were checking it off the list. And the reason you do it is because after you done checked every box, you no longer are beholden to what somebody thinks of you. Because you know what? You got the scorecard. You can go back to them and say, where was you at when I was working 12 hours a day, racking my brain to figure out what I'm gonna do after I worked a long shift to come in and do them radio shows? Check. Where were you at when I was doing there and I was talking? I couldn't find nobody to interview. They say, G. Bush, you could talk a long time. The reason I learned how to do that is because nobody would come on my shows. So I had to be on the airways talking to myself, cooking. It's okay. Sometimes it's good to eat by yourself. Check. When I had to pay money, I spent more of my check in parking downtown than what I got paid. Check. And I'm not saying it to be woe is me. I'm saying that was my proving ground. That was my battlefield. That was my preparation. That was where God was molding me, shaping me, making sure that I understood that this is what I'm telling you to do. And if you check these boxes, can't nobody touch you. See, I'm telling y'all, you know you close to it when you know you close to it. Some people in this chat right now, you close to it. You know why you know you close to it? Because all hell breaking loose. Your friends is looking at you sideways. Your family looking sideways. You go into work, they're looking at you sideways. You keep putting extra work in and seem like other people is prospering. No, you just checking boxes. And once you check them boxes and you done everything you done, when you get to the other side, can't nobody say nothing about it. Because whoever the quarterback is, once they say, you said I wasn't no good here. You said I couldn't do this. You said I couldn't do that. You said do a competition. You said I couldn't stay off social media. You said I was a distraction. When he check all them boxes and win a competition fair and square, now guess what? All you got to do is sit there and watch the game. Because that's all you're going to do anyway. You watch because you can't do. You're a spectator. Once the boxes is checked, it's an irrelevant nature. You say what you want. You don't like G. Bush's? Okay, that's fine. I done already checked all the boxes. Hit that like button. Ain't nobody afraid of no competition. Ain't nobody afraid of that. And I'm with you. The problem ain't with Arch Manning. Let me just put that out here. The problem ain't with Arch Manning. The problem is not with none of these quarterbacks. What we figured out, and people say, why is it about the media? Why is it about the media? The problem is you guys keep looking for a savior. That's what you're looking for. You put all of your insecurities, all of your downfalls, all of your hopes, wishes, aspirations into one person, and you make him that's your savior. I knew we was in a sunken place as a team when we had people literally saying we should use draft capital for a quarterback who was suspended by the NCAA for gambling on his own team. Here's the problem. This right here should disqualify anybody from voting on any postseason awards, Hall of Fame, anything. Let me tell you why. Because the same people that won't put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame for gambling on his team will then advocate that you should use a draft pick on a person who's already suspended for gambling and been in rehab for it. Make it make sense. I got Emmanuel Clausse. I got Emmanuel Clausse. I got Ortiz. That's under federal indictment for the Cleveland Guardians. Lifetime bans on the way. We're in the city. You meaning to tell me you don't like the quarterback so much that you would advocate giving up draft capital to draft a quarterback who already did what these guys are accused of, and it's not debatable. That's the problem with America. We will move every goalpost. We will move every lantern. We will move everything for somebody that we like. You will turn the blind eye to somebody that's robbing, cheating, stealing, doing whatever they want to, but yet and still, You'll sit up here and tell somebody about a speeding ticket. You've already been outed. You've already been outed. You want a quarterback, and no disrespect to the man, young man. I hope he gets help, and I hope he has a career. But the problem I got with it is, in one breath, you'll talk about giving this dude an opportunity to come play. But in the other breath, you'll say Myles Garrett got to come because he ain't showing leaderships. In one aspect, you'll say Shedeur Sanders got speeding tickets. He needs to learn more. But you got another person who literally is banned for the same things that you guys sit up here and have preached on the pulpit for decades and stood in the bully pulpit talking about the integrity of the game, protecting the shield. The integrity of the game is, we got Chauncey Billups that did a poker game and he looking around in jail. But you will then advocate this is what we should do because it doesn't matter as long as we get our quarterback morally bankrupt at the highest levels. What rationale is that? You will do anything. You will dismiss it. You will do gymnastics. You will condone. I don't really care. You know why? That's what I said. I said, here's how I took it. And this is why when people talk about G. Bush, just say it. Just tell them. You should tell your people. Tell them this. Come on, you got to hold somebody. Y'all ain't had nobody accountable since day one. Stop with all accountability stuff. If we're going to play a fair game, we're going to play a fair game. So if you want to take that, and that's what you want to do at quarterback, and that's what you feel like, guess what? I don't care nothing about no speeding tickets. Don't talk to me about them. Don't look at me. Don't ask me for a quote. Don't ask me for none of it because I know you're disingenuous. I know you don't care about the speeding ticket. You care about who got the speeding ticket. You're not about to use me as some moral goalpost. No, you go talk to your people and talk some sense into them, G. And then you 5 seconds later, I'm just saying, I know I didn't put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame because he treated the press badly, but he cheated. He took steroids. He should never be. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we see something here. I think we see a pattern here, fellas. It's good for the goose. It's good for the gander. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. I thought I was the only one that missed that. I said, hold on. Now I thought that was the chief sin. I thought that was the number one sin. The one you put at the top of the list. Betting on your own team is the worst thing you could do as a human being. Because it seems to be that a lot of people is catching them consequences. But the second one is, I'm going to turn a blind eye to this one. Yeah, I think, because we needed a quarterback. As long as you get your quarterback, nothing is above that. Shut up. Y'all cats be playing around. You ain't got no moral standing on none of this stuff. Half the reason you be mad because these folks to be y'all stay on them. Y'all stay on them. Get these dudes off the internet. That's cracking me up. It got so bad I had to turn my doggone camera off. Morality is only good. It's capitalism, bro. That's what it is. So I remember that early. Don't you come over here trying to tell me, G. Bush, what do you think about so-and-so doing? I don't care nothing about Myles Garrett ever coming to camp. Ever. Ever, never. I don't care. Don't care. You're not getting me on it. Because in the next segment, you want to draft the quarterback that bet on his own team. And you told us that. We didn't make the rules. You made the rules. You made those rules, people. So much my camera overheated. We back up and running. These dudes. You thought you was going to get away with that. That was crazy work. Nasty work. Let me just tell you this, though. The thing that we're missing, and we always miss, is the Browns are way better. Hey, listen. Hey, them burner accounts, man. Hey, listen, man, come on over here. We preach. In the Old Testament, Jesus used to go to the places wherever we was at. He would go with his disciples wherever we would try to preach the truth. Hey, listen, come on over here. Come get you some of this. We kicking it. We kicking it. Come on over here. We having a good old bonfire. We having a good old weenie roast. Pause. That was crazy. I should have said something like s'mores or something. That's what we should have did. But let me just tell you what we missing here. That was crazy, T-Bush. Let me just tell y'all something. While we sit here talking this noise, all he talks about quarterback, all he does is talk. Nah, bro, let me tell you why this young man is special right here. No, all he does is talk quarterbacks. Nah, I've been telling y'all. This the dude over here. See, this the dude that was talking about receivers. Remember when, if you are members only, while everybody was talking about whose quarterbacks they should be going to get, while everybody was running around talking about what quarterback and what new quarterback, who was doing a wide receiver bracket? Huh? You know what? It makes it seem like, doesn't it make it seem like I kind of knew a little something? What the Browns might be actually targeting? Because we, out of all the positions, we did, me and Tyvis, a receiver bracket. Did we not? We went over all kind of receivers. Just so happens, they drafted 2 receivers in the first round. One of them is Denzel Boston. What I like about this situation is this. This is the energy that the new Cleveland is about. This is the new energy. And what y'all been missing was this. Shout out to BrownsNation.com. Browns rookie Denzel Boston said he and fellow rookie Casey Concepcion will quickly build a brother relationship, explaining that their close bond off the field has helped create chemistry, energy, and accountability between them every single day. Our relationship has gone to a brother kind of thing. We only call each other brother around the facility when we see each other. We're always hanging out at the facility, outside the facility. We're trying to do something to make sure we're building that bond with each other, constantly being around each other, learning from each other, pushing each other every single day. When you have that friendship, it brings fun to the field and it allows you guys to go out there and have fun and make plays off of each other. We're matching energy all the time. This is what they don't want you to see. This is the stuff they don't understand about. Yeah, weenie roast is insane. That's crazy. Hey, they out here cooking. This is when you talk about changing the culture of the Cleveland Browns. When you talk about changing the culture of the Cleveland Browns, this is the first step of the foundation. Accountability, brotherhood, standing next to your teammate, having each other's back, working on and off the football field. Before, we got a bunch of people over here doing something, over here doing something, over here doing something. The last 2 draft classes have been locked in. Last two, the hungry dogs locked in. Last two draft classes locked in. When you look at it, it's one of them things where now, what I like to, Casey Concepcion missed the ball, bounced off his hands for an interception. And guess what? He came back that next practice and made a hell of a grab. Came back the next practice, hell of a grab. And the thing that I love about what they're doing now, this ain't tabloids. This ain't tabloids. This is real. This is what the football and energy is about. When we inside them locker rooms, we need to know that you as invested as we are. We need to know that outside I got your back and I want the best for you as a player. We ain't doing none of that. If I get the ball this play, cool. If I don't get the ball that play, cool. This the energy we need. We didn't have that energy. We didn't have that energy at our wide receivers prior to this. We didn't at all. And what you want is young receivers doing that. They say, G. Bush only talk about the quarterbacks and Shedeur Sanders. Nah, homie. Let's keep it moving. Coach Riz, Cleveland.com, was blown away by Quinshon Judkins' explosiveness of Brown's OTA, noting the young running back looks even more dynamic now he did before his ankle injury. He looks more explosive than he did last year at this point, recently said. My number one takeaway from OTAs other than today was, without question, his explosiveness. He's a next-level mover without the injury. It was super, super impressive. He wasn't lying. One of the biggest things, and I covered this for the Bleacher Report too. I covered this for the Bleacher Report. Take a look at this. He wasn't lying. Hey. He looks, what injury? What ankle? Run it back. What ankle? What ankle? People forget he didn't have no offseason last year. He came right into the Baltimore Ravens game. Crazy. Man, y'all think we gonna win? Y'all hoping we gonna win 5 games and we got this monster? You think we gonna win? This dude under a better offensive line, we gonna be cooking. He looks more explosive than he did last year. How many big runs? By the way, y'all let them know. They talk all they want to. The catalog, our catalog at the barbershop is impeccable. Members know what it is. Our catalog is impeccable. You know what the impeccable nature is? We do watch parties. So if you saying we do watch parties. So if you want to know what I thought about the game in real time, there you go. Watch party the whole time. Maybe some people in the barbershop co-sign that. When you want to talk about what my thoughts were, I don't take nobody's word from it. See, the thing about the barbershop community is we're well informed. I don't know any other what mainstream media person, what mainstream dude is doing all 22 reviews. I'll wait. What mainstream dude is doing all 22s? What a former NFL player. So you meaning to tell me, see, this is why it's airtight. This is what we call checking the boxes. They call me Big Circus. They call me Big Circus, Duke and Knee Jerk. But just put the names on it, put the big caps on it. You know why? Because you're going to get my real time while we watching it. See, you might be at BW3s. What I'm doing is breaking the game down in real time. Who do preseason games? This guy. Who do 2 post-game shows? This guy. And when the film come out, when that film come out, you know what we doing over there. Whoa, Gigi. Whoa, Gigi. Gigi. Did she say he was looking thick? You can't say that. I thought I had the worst comment of the day. That was one of them. So you already know what it's about. We about football and the Browns. There is no. I want to hear. I would like to hear. I tell y'all. I was just ask y'all. Let y'all know. Ain't nobody that do more Browns content than me. I'll wait. If the chat wants to, if anybody in the chat wants to opine on that, maybe you need to ask AI. Or when people say, this is the funny thing, when people say, oh, that's crazy, he's built like a restaurant. Understand this. When people say, all he does is talk about this, all he does is talk about that, all he does is talk about this, all he does is talk about that, that's a song. You know how much content I got out? I'm waiting. Listen, no disrespect. You can follow, you be on the beat. I stand by that. And that's the thing too. See, a lot of people always want to, like, y'all got to understand the distraction techniques. If you want to know how G. Bush feel about something, you got multiple places to go check out. I'm on the Bleacher Report. I do updates on the Bleacher Report. You can check those out right now. Go, just type it in and go over there. I do Ultimate Browns, 30 minutes. Talk about all different types of topics. I'm on UCSS in off-season 3 days. During the season, I'm there 5 days. Okay? I do the post-game show for UCSS every game. I do the barbershop post-game every game. I do the final cut on Wednesdays. Right? I not only do that, I continue to, I got content with all the other people. I do watch parties. I do the film review. When you say, oh, you should argue that, oh, I want to argue with UCSS. For what? I ain't up there wasting my breath on what people talking about. I don't got to validate everybody's answering questions. If you want to know how G. Bush feel about something, I got 18 platforms, thousands of hours of content that break it down eloquently and in different platforms. I love UCSS, but just because it's on UCSS does not invalidate what my opinion is. UCSS is one of my platforms. So what I say on that platform in no way, shape, or form invalidates what I say on the Bleacher Report, the barbershop, final cut, post games, breaking it down. That just may be what you was watching. That may be where you watch. And it's fine, you can watch me. I'm on the KYC app too. But we got to get things working. If you want to know what G. Bush is saying, will we be continuing to watch game reviews with types? Of course. Of course. Every game. Every game we gonna do it. I'll be at training camp too. That's what we saying. We listen, we about to keep it pushing. Let me see that. Let me see it. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to move. It's big circus. We everywhere, bro. And it is what it is. We appreciate every single one of you that watches and consumes the content wherever you at. Wherever you at. Y'all got to get on the train, because what we got to understand is, you forget the hater stuff. This is going to be a crazy year. Why would I sit up there and be arguing with folks that don't see what I see? What do two people that don't have like minds, what is that? How can I communicate? Also, sometimes the stuff that I think and know is outside of the boundaries of what you might know. Hey, I could have been arguing all day and twice on Sunday about Kevin Stefanski last year on UCSS and all the shows. I already knew what the truth was. Did I say something? Did I spill the beans? No. I sat back and chilled because it was already written. My job ain't to convince you what you should know. My job ain't to convince you and bring you and win you over. I'm thinking about the game at a different level. How am I going to break down the game if somebody don't break the game down? That don't even know what the all-22 look like. That ain't never been where I've been. And they ain't even plugged in like that. I always say it. How does a fish in the ocean envision what an eagle see? I'm in a different stratosphere when it comes to the way I think about the game or the way I go about trying to get the information to try to break it down, because I put work into it. I don't roll over and get out of bed and turn the microphone on. My show and your show not the same. That's why I don't never have no problems with nobody, because we're not in the same tax bracket. We're not in the bracket in terms of, and when I mean tax bracket, it ain't even money. Forget money. I'm talking about the currency of, do you really mess with this? I really mess with this. I ask people, could you wake up every single day and be excited to do what you do? I done been in a place where I've been in a dark place where I was doing some things and doing jobs that I didn't like. Currency to me is not money. I don't care how much money I make or where the bread coming from. All I need enough is to pay my bills, keep my lights on. But for me, the money and the currency come from knowing I'm in my purpose, knowing what I could do, and I could turn this microphone on and speak to people and touch people and move people. And I could do this. I could do that for a living. I don't care nothing about none of the rest of this stuff at all. I get up at 9 o'clock, coming to talk. I want to see the 2,000 that's pulling up. That think, and I want to be enlightened, that want to go back and forth, that want to have a dialogue, that want to think about life in a different way. I don't do it for the rest of them people. If I had 500 people over here, I was doing this 14 years ago with nobody, and I would still do it. Can you say that? Because remember what we talked about today, boys and girls. Checking the boxes. And if you can stay on your path to what God wants you to do and how you going to move, then you ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about not a thing. Let me ask you a question. Now, I'm just going to talk to y'all. Let me ask y'all a question real quick. If I get in an airplane and I fly across the country on vacation, I don't know who the pilot is. I don't know what his family life is. I don't even know if he's drunk or not. Don't know if he failed his last flight simulation. Don't know nothing. I don't know the maintenance people that looked at the engines. I don't know the people that was the mechanics. I don't know the air traffic controllers. But every time I get on the plane and it's a short flight, I simply trust that I will get to my next destination because it's already happened before. So let me ask you a question. Why would you sit here and talk about haters and people who don't agree with you when you already know what God done already done for you to start with? I know what he done did. I know where he done moved me. So why would I be sitting here in the midst of anything questioning that? And I don't question regular humans and regular people that I work around, that I trust to get me to a safe place, that I put my life in their hands every single day, and I don't question them. Why would I question what we talking about and how we move in here? Seems crazy to me. Because the reality was, I didn't get here because of you. I got here because of him. That is the key. So we appreciate you. 2019 people, pull up. We had a great conversation. Let's get to these super chats. Let me see what we talking about. We talking about over here. Alexander Galan, it's always go Browns. You know what it is. Always. Don Hall, what is your viewpoint on the wide receivers not catching a nephew's throw? Hey, it's so funny because I love doing this because, Don, as soon as you said that, I think I pulled up the clips and guys dropping the football, messed my whole monologue up. Y'all be looking at my notes a little bit. I swear to see you aunties got my stuff hacked. I swear y'all got it hacked. Weird vet. I won't listen to anybody else. Member for 7 months. Hey, man, there's some good people out here. I always say this, bro. I ain't a cocky individual. I think there's good people that report. I think I like some really nice media, independent media outlets out there. I listen to a bunch of people, all right? But I see what you're saying. Somebody said you got to learn to take a compliment. I got to learn to take a compliment. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate you. Miss Bell, I hope so, because they on my nerve. I just need the season to start with nephew as quarterback. One, I'm not who wins the competition stage yet. Miss Bell, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. And you can't, I love cooking. Everybody know who, like, I like Texas barbecue. Put it in the chat if you like Texas barbecue, man. Man, that brisket, you got to baby that brisket. That's why it's so hard to do. Excuse me, you got to be checking the coals. You got to make sure it ain't too close to the fire. You got to make sure that the heat is good. You got to make sure you clean the grill. That smoke don't be dirty. You got to be putting new wood in it. You got to wrap it, spray it. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to let it sit. Then you talk about, we ain't talking about putting the sauce on it. Bro, that brisket takes time to matriculate, to render. The fats got to render. All that got to be, it take time to have top-notch competitive barbecue. It's why it separates the greats from the not so greats. From the good backyard brisket to the brisket that's winning competitions. Texas Monthly, you ain't gonna be in Texas Monthly if your brisket is just good, that your neighbors think it's good. Nah, bro, it take a little time with that. Bro, this quarterback competition, it's gonna take, we ain't gonna see, we gotta see what it looked like. We gotta see what it looked like. I gotta see them pads on. And we're gonna get there. All you gotta do is keep watching, keep pulling up. It ain't that serious. We gonna get there though. Gonna take us that. We'll get there though. Carter Sins. G-Bush, good morning. I'm a Cowboys fan, a huge Shedeur fan, and I found myself paying more attention to the Browns-ish more than the boys since he too got drafted. That's all. That for me. And man, look, even the real Browns fans, even the real ones, you might not agree with what I'm talking about with no Shedeur Sanders or whatever case may be, but you can't never say I'm not no Browns fan. I end the show with everybody go Browns. My job, I was on the Bearded podcast. Shout out to them brothers. And they was 3 white guys, showed love, pulled up. Make sure you go watch that episode. Look, the biggest compliment that anybody could give me is to say, I'm not even a Browns fan and I watch your content. Being a different fan is almost like that's your relative. Nobody gives their team up. If you're a Cowboys fan, you're going to be a Cow. You may get bad at your team. One of the most difficult things in sports in general is to convert somebody to a Brown for another team. It got to be something going on. A lot of our people converted not because they wanted to, it's because they took the doggone team. The team moved to Baltimore. So we had to pick a side. And a lot of us decide we ain't picking no sides. We ain't about to be, we'll watch football. We watch high school football and the Buckeyes, but we ain't about to just start rooting for nobody. Heck, I tried. So that's the biggest compliment in the world for somebody to say that. So we appreciate you. J-Mac, it's practice, Allen Iverson, right? It's practice. And sometimes practice means different from other people, right? For Myles Garrett, that don't count. Myles Garrett got moves, he practiced, whatever. But for certain guys, and especially younger guys, it means a lot more. The more it's varying. The NFL is not an even skew. Some people get more, some people get less out of that practice. And as you get older, might be less practice. But if you could be older, trust me, Lamar Jackson with a new offensive coordinator, that's a thing. New coaches, new things. Like, so even if you're a veteran, dialed in. Anthony Barnes, Bull said 10% chances could be a good, man. I don't get it. Everybody say 4, but no pads on. This is wild work. Look, man, I keep it real. What's your opinion, bro? I could say, think about it. It can go the opposite way. I could say, hey, Bull, it's 10% chance Joe Burrow stays healthy and you guys ever go back to a Super Bowl. Would that be crazy? Would that be wild? Nah, because I don't care. I don't care nothing about that. That really don't move me like that. That don't move me none. Because what I know is I only care about what the Browns doing. I'm going to dial in with Joe Burrow when we play him in the Bengals. Other than that, I'm concentrating on what we're doing. The hyper-focus of Browns, the new Browns. That's your opinion, and we're going to see what happens. But I think I also did an eloquent job of telling him, hey, man, here's why 40% is bare minimum. I give you 40% just on bare minimum of the receivers, the offensive line, the maturation of the guys who played and participated and were young contributors, and the head coach in the playbook. I can give you 40% just off that. J-Mac Too Fresh Salute, G Bush, aka Big Circus, double wrist up. You know what it is. What's up? We feel you, man. Appreciate you, J-Mac Too Fresh. You out here too. Showing love, man. 1,900 people in here. You know what it is. J-Mac 2104 says, let us know. Let us not forget Ford tore both his Achilles in practice, one in college, one in the pros. Be careful, Cleveland media. I don't really want to wish that on nobody. I hope he stay healthy. I want nothing but the best and success to be him to be healthy, for him to do his thing, and for him to come out here and compete and put his best work on film. Because to me, that's the best you're going to get from both of the guys. At the end of the day, we sign. It's almost like we sign. If you're a lawyer or you're a doctor, as an athlete, you sign up for certain things. And what you sign up for certain things is you don't ever want to see nobody else get hurt. And you always want that the best person win competition on the field. That's all. So that to me is what my mandate is. That's what I always come down to. Don Adams, Shedeur will soar, G Bush Masterclass, hashtag the new Cleveland. Don Adams, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. The Pub Sports, I recorded my first episode of the Brownstown last night, but haven't posted it. I mentioned the new Cleveland in my greeting and outro and wanted to know if it's all right before you posted. Much love. Hey, man, of course. Let me just tell y'all, bro. this is how let me just give y'all this out here. You know, I do a lot of content. I do a lot of content, right? And I ain't never once, ever in my life told somebody they couldn't use nothing. People used to email me, hey man, and I appreciate them for reaching out. But nah, that to me, I believe it, I come from I come from the era of mixtapes with rap. I come from an era where we had the mixtapes, the Wheezy series, the 50 Cent series, the Fab series, like the mixtape, you know what I'm saying? Lil Flip, T.I. mixtapes, them Southern mixtapes where they kept the industry, the DJ dramas, the Clue tapes. Like, yeah, people was waiting for albums, but we ain't got no time to be waiting for them albums with them labels. Like, I don't believe in the label controlling my content. That's why I do my independent content. So guess what? If you want to use it, cool. I don't even put no restrictions on the haters. Yeah, all right, it is what it is. But I believe that's helping grow the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? That grow the ecosystem. Like the pond get bigger, the streams get bigger, the ocean get bigger. That's how you do it. I ain't on here talking about, there's a lot of people, dang man, that's why I don't understand. I come from a different era. And I understand what the internet is. Even if you say something and I don't agree with it, it is what it is. But I by all means, use and use alike. D_neon. Deshaun Watson is who he is now. He may make throws, but he will also miss by a mile, and he just runs into sacks and has never improved in that area. Look at his stats at Houston stats for sacks taken. I'll go by the last time I saw him. The thing that really hurt Deshaun Watson was the misses of open guys, and it was the timing. And I think the thing with Deshaun Watson is, and the thing I'm more interested in watching is the timing. I've never seen a person be able to come back and miss almost 4 years time between injuries, suspensions, and things like that, and come back and he get to the speed of the game. And that's why I'm looking for the speed of the game. That's why I need it to be an 11-on-11, right? I'm looking for you to see if that he has that. Now, if he got that, if he comes back and he got the speed of the game, then we're gonna have to talk about some stuff, because that means he back cooking. And I will say this: Todd Monken's offense, as you see in practice, they scheming dudes wide open. Guys is running around open. The playbook is much more different. That rudimentary JV playbook that Kevin Stefanski was running, that people was running away. See, y'all run away from that because that was your friend. That was your friend. That was your man's. You run away from that. I think it's funny. There's no criticism. Where's the word? I think it's funny. There's no criticism of the offense that was run, but the criticism is the quarterbacks was terrible. No, you making it as if the premise, the lone thing why Kevin Stefanski is gone is the quarterbacks. Oh, no. He was a contributor to that in real time. I also praise both Shedeur and Deshaun Watson. Question for you: Todd Monken and George Washington, the Browns need. Is he the leader that pulls the mutineers together? I think he is the coach that we need for today. I think we have swung so far in one direction: analytical, cold, and analysis, not being real about no people skills. The thing that comes off with Kevin Stefanski is, and a lot of people talked about it, I'm just not saying that. People felt like they didn't know who he was. People felt like they didn't have a relationship with the players. You want somebody that has a relationship with you. You want somebody that you know, not necessarily is your best friend, but at least they know who you are as a person. And that translates to the football field. Also, the development. We talk about the development. Development is key to what you're trying to do. So I think at this point, I think he is the coach that they need for today. Miss Bell says Watson is a used car. You trade him 6 years now. Watson looked like that. Not impressed. I will say it again. Jumping Jerry Jeudy needs to play tennis. The ball is smaller, and he just needs to hit it over the net, not catch it. I'll say this too. In a different way is, you know what you have with Deshaun Watson. The get out of jail free card, and the major thing that you want is you want to be able to solidify the thing you want is you want to have a quarterback that you can move forward with, continue to develop, and then get to a point where they believe. And this is the thing that when I talk to people, and I reached out to some people, and they talked about how impressed they were with the trajectory of what Shedeur Sanders has done in a short period of time by being here in the offseason, kind of soaking it up with coaches and what different things, is the fact that he's progressing quicker. I'll give you an example. The most pivotal time for a child is around the 1 to 2 year mark, right? Think about all the metamorphoses that you learn as the time you're 2. You develop a level of self-awareness. I am a person, an individual. You begin to recognize words, facial features. You begin to crawl, you begin to walk, you begin to eat solid food, you begin to learn and feel and develop a personality. All of those things is light years, like boom, 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 boom. You're meeting these every single day is something new for kids in between the ages of 1 and 3. When you get older, studies show you are pretty much who you are by the time you're like 13. That is why studies show that on feral children, I always grew up with the Jungle Book, right? And it freaked me out because I was watching this documentary, and you know how this Mowgli, and it was a boy that is left behind and is raised by animals. And I'm like, oh, I love the Jungle Book. Then I read this documentary, and it was like, if you don't learn how to speak, and if you're kept in isolation, by the time you're 11, you'll never learn how to speak. It's just done. I said, hold on, what kind of crap is that? What you mean you can't learn? It's already it's baked in. Your brain has not developed those skill sets, and you are stuck at that point. So in terms of football, there's a lot of things when you're moldable and young that you have a chance to change. The light bulb goes off. For me, the light bulb went off when I was about 16 or 17. I'd never played. I didn't play sports until I was like 14 or 15. I was a late bloomer. But one day I woke up, and for some reason, it just all clicked. I was the best baseball player. I could jump. For some reason, I grew 3-4 inches. If you've seen my parents, and I think you have, people say I got to find out the conversation, because I'm about 6-7 inches taller than my parents, right? And I never really was into football a lot. My younger brother played since he was 6. I ain't playing no football, but it all clicked for me at once. And the guys that were better than me, faster than me, stronger than me, they just seemed to be not as good. So there's a trajectory that you're on that if you catch it at the right point, you can become a guy that can get to a place where you wouldn't be. This is the first time, and I think they're intrigued by it. That's why I keep saying development. You got to think about it. This is actually the first time Shedeur Sanders has had somebody take that level of interest and get that level of coaching. Because as we said, in like the Jungle Book, they just threw him out there. That's verifiable. No reps, No conversations in the rooms. And by the way, here's how you know it's truth in that, because they vehemently deny it so categorically. But you can't really deny it, because guess what? Oh, I really know. Oh, I know. Now, don't you don't want to refute that. You better leave me a no. Oh boy, y'all guys is funny. Miss Bell, love you to death, Miss Bell. JMac 2104. Shedeur did have 127 rush yards in 2 years at Colorado. Coach Monken knows what he needs. Simple. He doesn't need the same kind of reps for. There it is. Don't need to. Everybody, listen. In football, everybody don't need the same. I was always naturally gifted at pass rush. I just had moves because I played basketball. So I knew playing basketball, if you can beat somebody off the dribble and you got to dribble with a ball, what can I do if I can just do moves and I don't have to have a ball? I could just do a move on you. I was like, hey, it's a wrap for you. But the thing that I always struggled with a little bit, is pad level. I always played high, and I knew it. Now, playing high on pass rush don't hurt you. Playing high, if you playing inside, you're in trouble. Yeah, your pad level can get you washed quickly. So I already knew where we was at. So the thing that we used to work on is pad level under the chutes. I used to hate it. They used to put this little metal cage, and you would actually get under the cage, fire out, and you had to beat a block scheme. And if you stood up too high, you would hit your head on the cage. So that means you was too high. Hated this drill. Oh, God, I hated it. I hated it. But it's about working the things that you're not good at, not working the things you're great at. That don't do you no good. Chanel. This new offense is made almost entirely of young players. Best of luck to Deshaun in the preseason. I pray he has a good offer after this, but Shedeur is the Browns franchise quarterback. # New Cleveland. I do think that what they're evaluating, and here's the thing too. Man, I be wanting to tuck stuff, but y'all say stuff, and then I'm like, man, you know what? I got to go ahead and say it. They're not evaluating. You got to watch how you think about this. If you know you have a good team, a really good team, they're not evaluating the Cleveland Browns team based on, oh, we're going to be terrible this year and then get a quarterback next year. They're evaluating in a long term, can Shedeur Sanders be our franchise quarterback? And if the answer to that is yes, but it may take a little time to get here, they're not evaluating 2027 the same way y'all is. Because what they're doing is they're looking at a long-term approach. If I already know I got a team that's good, that wins me 7 or 8 games, the problem is if you win 7 or 8 games, you're not going to be drafting high. Then you're going to say at 7, 8, 9 wins, you're going to package up picks to get who? Because you're not going to get a top quarterback. And then you got to ask yourself a question. Are you going to package picks that can get you over the hump to make the playoffs or go further in the playoffs for a rookie and then have to go through rookie growing pains again? See, you're not really thinking about it. And this the problem that you have. You're not thinking of it in terms of building football. If you have a quarterback, the goal is to evaluate whether you have a quarterback that can be a franchise quarterback. If you say yes, it's just going to take a little bit of time for him to get there, then you're not even looking at a quarterback in 27 anyway. Your cap number, Deshaun Watson's cap number will be gone. You'll have a year full of data for Shedeur Sanders and working with Todd Monken. You have another group of young players that are coming up that played well, and then you still have picks that you can use to make the team better. Not go up and get a quarterback after you don't win 8 games. See, again, I don't understand. You guys may not understand that perspective, but then again, I take my track record for it. I was the only person that said they wasn't going to get a quarterback. Who told you that? This factual. Who? Everybody who knows everybody advocated at least 1 or 2 quarterbacks they would go after. Which one did G. Bush say he was going after? They said, G. Bush, you're crazy if you think Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson would be on this roster. Am I the only one standing? I told you that 2 years ago. So, hey, y'all can keep listening. I don't know, now or later. Steven Jackson, Miles wants Shedeur. It may be an ultimatum. I think Myles Garrett knows what type of time we on anyway. Myles Garrett out here looking around. When he said what he said, it sounded like he was informed a little bit. I don't know. 10% chance on average quarterback play is disrespectful. Come on. I mean, that 10%, I'm like, what you basing that on? I don't know what you're basing that on. That 10% is like feelings. I feel like, okay, you feel that way? But nah, I don't think so. Sweetie says, we just need receivers to catch the ball if it touches your hand in the chest. Back to the basics, please, facts. These dudes out here having the ball bounce off their heads. It's crazy. Anthony LaFleur, KC said his first touchdown celebration going to be wrist up. That'd be crazy. That's crazy. The fact that that's his. Well, look. You know, a lot of the young players know who they want to be a quarterback. I think a lot of people know what they want to do. But got to go out there and do it. Coulda, woulda, Watson, and Jumping Jerry need a team. We have a real New Cleveland playoff bound. Get them playoff tickets ready. 1979 Miller. New media won't let the old media control the narrative. Yeah. It's checks and balances out there now. It's competition. It's a business. Another thing, too, this is a business, man. We all compete in the ecosphere of, hey, we do all do content. The machine gonna keep machining. The game is the game, always. Remember say, don't hate the player, hate the game? Why you mad? You should be mad. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't mad at bro, you can have any comment you want to, especially the media. That's what you're supposed to do. You think, let me ask you this. You think I'd be really over here worried about what y'all talking about? Bro, that's what your job is. You're supposed to go out here and get and have commentary. That's why they hired you. You think that? Nah. Do your thing, Wody. Do your thing, Wody. Keep cooking. Hit that like button. It won't bite you. We appreciate you, T-Storm. Anthony LaFleur. 4 is a verb. 2 is hitman. Hey, Big Gerald. Yes, sir. That's how you talk to your son. Dang, a verb. I hate to see what's coming. A verb, man, you in the spaces, man. Shout out to Hitman and Cinnamon. I think they got a podcast too. He got some clips going around. Shout out to Hitman. Shout out to A verb. Nah, forget that. Shout out to Young Ill. Shout out to Ice Pack. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. For all you battle rap dudes, let me tell you something. Young Ill was explosive. Shout out to B Magic too. But Young Ill versus Rex. Young Ill was different. The way the pockets Young Ill was getting into. Put it in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Did Prime interview open more opportunity for you? Man, the Prime interview, what it did is it opened eyes. Shout out to Coach Prime. What it did, it didn't open up no just opportunity for me. It opened up opportunity for a bunch of people. All the independent media. It opened up opportunities for everybody in the ecosphere. It opened up opportunity for everybody that want to do media, that want to get players on. You know what I'm saying? It showed that, like, if Coach Prime come do an interview, that makes it more likely that you could get a Myles Garrett, a Denzel Ward. It's more likely that if you can go get you a guy, you know what I'm saying, like a Quinshon Judkins, or, you know what I'm saying, I ain't even gonna talk about Shedeur, but it opened up the game back up. Because the doors was closed. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, man. The doors was closed a lot between players and media, bro. Like, it just, the relationship was real sour. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players don't trust the media. A lot of players don't want to talk to them. A lot of players would rather do their own content. So for me, that interview did more for everybody than what everybody want to acknowledge, because it opened the door back up that we can have conversations with big time players, and we can have conversations that can be respectful. It ain't clickbait. It ain't over the top, and that people can come on and actually have an opportunity to speak. So hopefully that interview opens it up so we can have more major names that are going to talk to platforms. You know what I'm saying? I miss the days where it was like, you know, I grew up with the Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali, watching them, right, back and forth. And so hopefully that's a thing. But shout out to Coach Prime, like, for doing that, because he didn't have to do it. And I think it also opened up, it opened for in a perspective, it opened up a different lane than just opinion, because there is a difference between opinion and interviewing. There's a difference between opinion and, like, journalism. And people don't know, I'm classic. I got a communications degree from Ohio University. So I'm classically trained in what communication is supposed to be, or marketing. And then I also went to broadcasting school, right? Ohio Media School. So I respect all parts of the game. I just think what he did and respectful was, he's a dude that's always giving back. He's always a person that puts on for the culture in his community, whether it's music, whether it's with this media thing. He ain't had to do that. He ain't had to do none of that. He could have been like, whatever, I'm gonna do my thing. Prime good forever. That's the thing that's the thing that people don't be getting. Coach Prime is good forever. Shedeur is good forever. Shiloh don't never have to play a game of football in his life no more. Bucky is good. They already got what they got, and it's going to be generational. So what they doing now is out of love and out of the grind and out of the want to and out of the purpose. Like, and I could respect it, because that's the same way I think. Man, I just sat there and talked about how much stuff that I do. And then sometimes I'll be tired, but my mind won't be ready. God gonna continue to push me. Nope, you wake up and do it. Wake up and do it. Wake up and do it. It's something inside of you that keep pushing you forward to keep doing it. So with them, I can respect it, because I know you doing it through the push. Like, you can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Like, it's in you. Let me see. G. Bush, I hear you, but I'm the auntie grandma. I need anything in Shedeur quarterback way to move so he can get this season started. He's got something to work with now. Develop him, invest in him. Let's go. Well, look, you already know where you're going to stand at, Miss Bell. I mean, that's where you at. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong for that's the home team. That's home team. You don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody, but you know where you stand. Like, yo, I got people, like I got aunts and family members right now. They don't care. I had to tell them to chill out. Hey man, I got to tell her to stay off the internet. Hey man, be cool. She be looking, why they listen, they gonna say, you said, why they say that? I said, listen, aunt, be cool. It's the internet. You all right? That's what you're supposed to be, but that's how aunties is, right? That's what you're supposed to be. Cleveland media is screwed. They got Ezekiel 5-6 syndrome. His knees knocked against each other. Reverend B.J. Nelson. By the way, shout out to you, my good sir. And you got a prime interview. That's how I know. Shout out to you. That's how I know you're a real one. Because right after that, I was watching your interview. Obviously, you had the prayer and everything. T-Storm, barbershop different. Ain't for the weak. Amen. We be saying this it ain't for everybody. Ain't for everybody. I wouldn't know because I don't be listening to other people's stuff. I don't know what they be. People be like, did you hear what's up? Nope. Sure didn't. I didn't, bro. Gee, I was lost in physics. Professors would look at me, my work, and say, okay, this looks good, but but I don't know what the hell you doing over here, right? Black Angus facts. Bro, them professors will look at you like this. I mean, see, think about math. And my mom is good at math, obviously. My wife is. This is why I can't never argue and win no conversations, bro, because she just gonna pull rank. Like, yeah, man, come on, man. How many degrees you got in math? I do all the math. I do math for all the companies, all the math. I said, dang. I be trying to get my little argument off. I can't really get it off, though. But the thing about math is cool is there's more than one way to get to an answer. And if you there is creativity in math as well. Like, proofs and theorems, like if you write it up cold enough and you come out with a specific hypothesis and you could back it up through that math, oh no, people will look at it and be like, all right, well, they'll take you serious. Like, hold on, let me check this a little bit, make sure. But you got to show your work, though. That's why when you submit your theses, that's when you try to be the Nobel Prize. You got to have a whole dissertation behind that. Good morning, G Breezy, coffee, convo in Cleveland. You know what it is, Miss Duke, one of me. We appreciate you. Tally Heat says they want 4 to work on deep reads and 2 to work on taking the base hit. But Cleveland not used to seeing coaches, so they'll just call it an excuse. Yeah. I listen, you can't get mad at somebody for not understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to start sometimes when you do a lot and you be studying and different things, usually this happens. If you talk about a science or you talk about a discipline or something, you ever notice like engineers don't do too much arguing? You notice that? You ever notice like carpenters don't be in discord, like arguing? You ever notice electricians don't do too much arguing? Accountants, economists. You know why? There's very little up for debate. One accountant can look at another accountant's work and immediately tell if there's something faulty. Ain't that right? Usually an engineer can look at a blueprint immediately and say, that bridge right there, not up to specs. It's going to fail in about 10 to 15 years. Rivets, screws, too salty in the environment, and they didn't put the base in right. Master carpenters, people who build houses, will immediately go on your roof and say, picture this roof is too shallow. That's why the water's coming in your house. Notice it ain't back and forth on no internet. It's because those disciplines, there's concrete facts. There are concrete facts in our discipline, which is sports talk radio. That foundation is playing, film, studying, understanding the basics. If you don't understand those things, why would I be arguing with you? Notice, they wouldn't know that. And why would I get mad at them for not knowing that? How would they? How would you know that? How would you know it's two different fields, they working on two different things? Unless you'd have been there and knew it. Can't get mad at her. Sarita Allen, Anthony Lyman is such a hater. He takes everything positive about Shedeur and try to make it mundane. He should be thanking Shedeur because without nobody even listening to you. I always, you got to also remember, Lima is the biggest troll in the game. A lot of y'all didn't know that coming into it. Remember, in our ecosystem, everybody has to play a role. You can be the biggest cheerleader. You can be the person who's the most middle ground. You can be the person that's the super flip-flopper. You could be the person who is the unbuzzman. You can be the person who is the troll. You could be the X's and O's guy. You can be the rant guy. So always remember in our man, I'm giving so much game. I don't understand it. This was supposed to be an hour and a half, but I keep coming to this and giving game. Understand that everybody plays a role in the ecosystem. And the thing that you got to understand when you're in the media, you have to be one or the other. You have to fill a role. And if that role is already filled, then you can't just go in that same area. You see what I'm saying? That role has been filled. It's like musical chairs. Everybody's walking around a group of chairs. Each chair has a title and role. When somebody sits in that chair, they are established. So what way can you get the traction you want? You got to take that role. And if that's Lima's role. You can't out-troll Lima. You know why? Because Lima, the biggest, he trolled so much, he tried to troll Todd Monken. I gave him crass. Dang, Lima done he tried to troll Todd Monken. I mean, when you get things, right? Oh, so you can't, listen, that's already done. That's already, Sarita, he's already established. That is his spot. He's going to be there, right? It's just the same way where you're middle of the road guy. You can't be more out of the mainstream media dudes. Rizzo is like I am Cleveland. I've been here the longest. He'd have been here the longest. Is he? Yeah, he's been here. He even was at News Channel 8. Yeah. King Carmen is more like he's the narrator, right? King Carmen has a unique ability to sway an argument or a conversation depending on where it's at. He's called an angles person. That's why Ken is so good at what we do. He can be mad one day. He can be funny. He can be the ombudsman. I'll be studying everybody. You don't understand. I'll be studying everybody. I'm studying. Come on now. You know what I do. Shout out to Lyman and Ken, by the way. It's all love. Hey, Aaron. New Cleveland media will destroy old negative media. Remember Shedeur's Hebrew name, Light of the Almighty. You know what? I'm all about, I ain't a destroyer. I'm a builder. I like to build. Like I said, come on over here. My goal is to build a new situation where we can get around your team. The team is better. That means the community get more shine. That means there's more people coming into the community. That means there's more dollars coming into the community. That means there's more jobs in the community. That means there's less crime rate in the community. There's more outreach in the community. I want my team to be good. I want good players to come here. I want a transformation of downtown. I want my city to look like Chicago. I went to Chicago and was, I say, they got all this in the Great Lake. Why every Great Lake city look good but ours? We got the same shoreline. Why are we going to develop that? See, my mentality different. Like, you know, people we talk about, see, my job ain't to take all of the, I don't want to take all of the, I want to take all the money out of it. I want to be the only one. Nah, bro. I want the city to be good. I want the team to be good. If they want to come along, great. Come on over here. As long as you report that the Browns is winning. Nancy says, I trust the development of two under the coaching staff. I think it's totally disingenuous for the media narrative with the number of touchdowns he had, ignoring the fact that the first 3 to 4G he started, they ran with the Wildcat. Look, that I always tell you like this. Why you feel like this is why I don't really never get on the hotline and go talk to nobody. As a matter of fact, I didn't even get on the hotline and went and seek nobody out. They just said, hey, G. Bush, I'm going to tell you what. We impressed. Now, watch how I do this. They was impressed with both guys. But we really was impressed by what Shedeur is doing with this offense and the way he's come and he catching it quick. They said excited. Yes, maybe it's me. But y'all do notice when me and my team, we were saying, oh no, this team got some talent. Everybody was saying 3, 4, 5 wins. Now how many people then came along and said, oh, this might be 10, 9, 8, 9. They done switched that up. How many people then came along? Oh, listen, Shedeur's balling out too, though. It ain't over. You always know when the tea leaves is written, right? I ain't just saying it to say it. Nancy, my issue is with Lima is the way he makes fun of two. He be trying to troll. Guess what? Here's the thing about it. When you start checking them boxes off and they start playing and he wins, that whole tune will change. You can do that now. It's cute now. It's funny now because we don't have the evidence. That's the thing we're talking about. When I say checker boxes, it's the evidence. Once you get the evidence, everything changes. Your trajectory, the way people talk about you, the way people act about you when they mention your name, the way they're going to put respect on it. It's easy to do that now because we ain't got nothing to talk about. Hey, G. Hey, G, my bad about the business. My Knickerbockers had to give the Cavs. Let's go Knicks. Hey, listen, hey, you ain't got to apologize to me. Y'all smoked us. It wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. And by the way, the Knicks got a better chance than a lot of people giving them credit for. They on the heater right now. The way they playing offense, they got one of the most historical offenses in the history of playoffs right now, according to what the stats say. But forget it, stats, the way they playing. Defense look good. Shout out to the Knicks, man. They are cooking. I would have said they wouldn't have a big chance to beating whoever it was, OKC or the Spurs, but the way they playing, man. Hey, it's different. The last doc I says Quantum Shedeur. Quantum Shedeur is funny. Y'all remember that show called Quantum Leap? I used to watch that show. Sapper Daddy, thanks for being a member for 8 months. We'll turn a blind eye to people they identify with. It's like that in every field in this country. As long as people get their way, the facts don't matter. Yeah. If you up and you winning, you'll turn a blind eye to a lot of stuff. You ain't got to worry about that. Cook G. Bush, speak the truth. Morality is only good for the benefit of the outcomes that they want. You got the outcomes you want. You say anything, you'll justify it. But that's human nature. That's the world. You'll just listen. You making a bunch of money or it's benefiting you, you automatically ain't got no problem with it. I don't see what the problem is. Of course you don't. You winning right now. Crow Dog, all the local media on their burner accounts in the chat just left in disgrace. Hey, man, come on over here. I ain't got no problem with nobody. We accept everybody. All that we ask you to do, don't be calling nobody out their name. Don't be spamming a bunch of the same stuff. And we can have a positive discourse. Zion Flowers, G. Bush, the crazy thing is they don't even believe all that Sorsby stuff. If the Browns signed him and traded Shedeur, they would immediately turn. Dang, you didn't hit it, bro. Dang, you kind of right. I think I always ask this question. And I talked to I said this about 15 years ago. I asked my dad, we was having a conversation and about the Browns being good or bad, whatever the case may be. We had a conversation. I said, Dad, what do you think we would actually be like? This before in the media, if the Browns were actually good. And he paused for a second and said, you know, that's a good question. He said, I don't know what they would do. Because he said, right now, the only thing you have to do to be in the media or be covering the team is just to say they're bad. And I said, he was like, if they actually were good, they would actually have to cover it in a different way, with nuance, with balance, with education, with some sort of insight. And certain people, that takes work. It does. It takes work. It's always 10 times easier to create content off negativity than positivity. Because negativity fuels you. It's the rush of eating chocolate cake. It's the rush of saying he called somebody out. It's the rush and the dopamine of being confrontational. If that's not there, you actually have to have something that literally hooks people. And negativity is one of the strongest hooks in the world. Why do you think when somebody crashed on the right-hand side of the road and the ambulance is up there, you done been mad the whole time because it's one lane? You're like, what's going on up there? You mad, you looking at your watch. But by the time you get right next to the crash, you do just like everybody else that was in front of you. Look-a-hooing, rubbernecking, goosenecking. What happened over there? Is the ambulance? Somebody laid out? Is the car on fire? What happened over there? And then after you gone, you take off. But that's just human nature. It's always crazier to have that perspective. Cook G. Bush, DeWan says, speak truth. Morality is only good for the benefit of the outcomes that they want. Facts. Let me see. Why can't the media leave Miles alone? Stop the trade talk. Let Monken develop the quarterback and chill. Nobody need for all the off the wall takes. Well, Big Lee, it's because we got to have something real. I just said it. We have Myles Garrett trade talks feel more airtime and good than, hey, what do you think about the third receiver for the Browns? Or could the Browns get could the Browns get 3 first-round draft picks if they move Myles Garrett? I'll show you what that thumbnail looked like in the amount of clicks. I can also show you the number of thumbnails and likes and clicks on this one. Hey, DeWan Jones is on the mend. Could they possibly move him inside the guard to have help on the inside? You might care about DeWan Jones moving inside. So which one you think they're going to go with? Reed Allen, run the numbers back. I would like to see the viewership for some of these radio shows and podcasts before Shedeur came in Cleveland. These non-football intelligence mofos have the audacity to be aired. Oh, no. Hey, listen. Oh, no. Shedeur Sanders, like, let me just tell y'all something. I don't even know why it's a problem. So you meaning to tell me there's a quarterback that plays for your team? He's shown some games, won some games for you, showed some promise. He just happens to be popular. And you mad at it? Where they do that at? Where did they do that at? Go back to my timeline. I got Baker Mayfield videos. I got Jacoby Brissett videos. I got Deshaun Watson videos. I got DTR videos. I got Joe Flacco videos. He's the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Why would that be a problem that you cover him? That tells me more about you than them. What's wrong with you, man? Sapper Daddy, people will throw away a relationship with God Almighty if it means that they can have what they want in life. So advocating for source speed didn't surprise me. I mean, after all, everyone deserves a second chance, right? Hey, bro, I always said, bro, you're not going to listen. Ye without seeing cast the first stone. I hope he get an opportunity and a shot. And I ain't condemning him at all. Like, we don't all been in sunken places. Our works is like filthy rags. But look, man, you can't make that comparison of one against the other and then be like, oh, if it's just a quarterback, we just going, nah, bro. Like, that don't make no sense to me. It never really made no sense to me, but it is what it is. The way I moves with it is I always tell people, oh, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. The devils are in the chat, so G. Bush aggravating the evil spirit of people. Lights destroy darkness. Amen. The chat. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all can have a difference of opinion. We still gonna cook. Overly Tay. Shedeur Sanders earned a record $17.7 million in group licensing income over the last season. Not bad for a fifth-round pick. Remember we said he's gonna be good forever. He'll be all right. He's gonna be cooking. Audrey Garland says G. Bush was disappointed me when I tried to call Bull out for calling Shedeur fans Shedeurian. When I heard you on the barbershop say that you didn't like the name either, yet you didn't speak up. Well, you got to understand this from my perspective. I don't like the word Shedeurians. I choose not to use the word Shedeurian. I try to use the fact that when people start saying part of a cult, Shedeur came out and said, I don't like that, that's disrespectful, right? Here's my thing. I can't be the end all be all to everything. You know, if that's somebody's opinion, right? And they choose to continue to say that. And I didn't say it already that I don't approve of it. I can't derail a whole show and say, let me start arguing over what he said, because he got to stand accountable for that. If he said it and you don't like it, then people got to speak up and say, hey, I don't like that you said that. I gotta talk to you about that, right? So for me, if you know where my stance is and you understand where I'm at with it, and I already told you what it is, there's no difference in what it is, in my opinion. See, sometimes I always say this, and I try to give people a perspective on it and try to explain it to people so they can understand what it is. When I am on UCSS or any other platform, we have a very small, limited amount of time to do topics. each person on that panel has a right to their own opinion. For me, it is not my job, or I cannot go and derail a show because somebody said something that I don't necessarily agree with. It's the same way on the 6 o'clock news. Somebody can report something on the 6 o'clock news and don't mean the weatherman can jump on and be mad at the news anchor for reporting a story, or he's going at the sports anchor. UCSS is a platform where we can have our own opinion, and the reason it's popular is because everybody has their time and their opinion to say. For me, I make it be known where my opinion is. I think I've done a good job of that on that show. I think I've carried the flag. I think I put the flag down. Where I always say to people is, but there's a time and place for everything. The reason I champion independent media and reason I champion independent content is because it's truly independent. If you want what I say and what I'm going to do and how I move, I own that. All that. Can't nobody tell me nothing about what I'm going to do over here. But when I am a contractor on any other platform. I do Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report can come to me and say, hey, listen, bro, we don't want no opinions. We want you to, down the middle, you report what's happening at the Browns camp. And if I decide to sign up for that, that's what I signed up for. There it is. But in terms of talking and, what people say and how we move, I can't, that's not the way. Now, there's certain things that I'm not going to stand for. Like if you say certain things, and obviously there's a line everybody's crossed, but we have to say this. It's not my responsibility. I can't be at every point and access to judge what somebody else is saying, because if I do that, I'm playing defense. Why would I play defense when I could come on my own platform and say exactly what I want to say and how I want to move it and play offense? Well, we appreciate the super chat. Alexander Galan, AB told Boston, be a bully in the NFL, and that's exactly what he did. And that's exactly what he's looking like. David Walker, what up, G? Miss Rosie, I'm proud of y'all are on these airways, keeping it real. Last time I checked, Shedeur B. Sorsby at Colorado, and I don't have any issues. 2 is the future. Why? Perfect timing. Hashtag New Cleveland. Appreciate you, David. 2 needs the why to have the freedom to break plays apart as needed, to be able to change parts of the play on spot without disrupting purpose. I agree with that. Sometimes players need the bigger picture. And sometimes the bigger picture unlocks the perspective. DeJuan, winners understand winning culture. The championship culture looks like. The bond is for life. The support and respect for each other is unbreakable. It translates on and off the field. You're correct. You're speaking like a dude that been there before, DeJuan, understanding what it's about. To read out and love it, G. Bush. This ain't tabloids anymore. Monken said it's all about football. That's why I love the barbershop. We talk football over here. That's what we do. And we're going to continue to talk football over here. Now, we're going to get to some receipts if y'all keep acting up. Y'all keep acting up, we're going to get to some receipts, but you know how we do. Of course, we were doing game reviews. Actually, to be truthful, here's what I want to tell everybody. One of the main lifebloods of what we do here is the reviews. And because the membership, we do a lot of things in the off season. We give you a lot of different other content because it's all season, and we want to keep you guys entertained. We want to keep you, having those things to do. But the lifeblood of what we started the membership for was to break down the barriers and to actually do teaching and informative things, right? Let me ask this question. Let me see this. There's a lot of videos out there who you can watch a video and you can watch somebody's opinion, right? But there is nothing like you getting to go behind those scenes and watch it and have it explained with diagrams. And we got editing tools, we diagram it, we got arrows, boxes, we break it down. We give you those things. And the reason we do it is because so that when the next week comes up and somebody tell you something, you already have the information. You can say, no. I seen the play you was talking about. That didn't happen there. No. That was right. And that the first sentence you said was correct. But on that next play, so-and-so missed that block. Or no. That last person dropped that football. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to get an opportunity to watch that and break. This is why the membership started. A lot of it was, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity to do some other fun thing. But no, the lifeblood of what we do is those reviews. And by the way, let's be real. Hey, we might add to it. Huh? There's a couple quarterbacks I know we might add to it. I might not even be talking about nothing. We might just have to have a professional quarterback over here breaking it down. Then what y'all gonna say? We might have Tyvus and matter of fact, I'm giving y'all too much. Join the channel. Join the channel if you like it. Okay. But we're gonna continue to do that. 2 makes everyone around him better. That's a generational quarterback. And I believe it. Audrey Garland, I refuse to support a show that disrespects Shedeur's fans. Stand up. They don't respect us as fans either, then turn around and beg us to download their app. Hey, hey, Audrey, that is your, and I wouldn't either. If that's your people's and how you moving, of course you wouldn't respect what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people in here feel that same way. A lot of people feel like we're not going to do the disrespect. We're not going to do that. Like I just went off the other day. Stop disrespecting Coach Prime like you're a regular person. I tell people all the time, here's how you make the impact. You pay attention to what you want to pay attention to. You support what you want to support. Ain't nobody listen. That's how you make your moves out here in this world. 2 has to beat all quarterbacks to play as they plan to draft one next year. Winning games was his only chance to stay on the field. Number 2, destiny. That is kind of crazy, Joe Station. To be honest with you, like I said before, it's all about the checking the boxes. You don't understand how many boxes he had to check to even get on the field last year. It's a known fact that they say, oh, we redshirting this dude. He won't see the field. He won't see it. He won't see the field. And he had to do that just to get back to this year to compete. Black Angus, G's last year's draft class, first 2 picks, you look like a kid that wanted McDonald's and mom made you one of them homemade burgers on Wonder Bread. What you expecting to see in Mason and Carson Schlesinger this coming year? Well, first of all, listen, I'm the only, this is how I keep trying to tell y'all dudes. This is how y'all got to admit to it. Carson doggone Schlesinger, when I'm going to tell you exactly what I said. Who is Carson Schlesinger? Who is this dude? And this dude, I went to camp, first practice, pulled up. It was hot as heck. And I see this dude with these little blonde hair coming out the back of his helmet. I say, who is that? I said, oh, that's Schlesinger. First play, broke up a pass. I said, okay, I see you out there in coverage. What you gonna do against this run? Second play, stonewalled a running back in the backfield. I said, okay, this dude's nice. Next play, knock the ball out. Next play, and pass coverage, tips the ball. Next play, running sideline. I said, this dude is a monster. Bro, that just goes to show you. In this life, it don't matter what you're talking about, bro. He ain't worried about no G. Bush. G. Bush told me, man, who is this dude? He showed me in that first practice who he was. Cooking. Speaking of Mason Graham, I always keep something with me. I always said I wanted Mason Graham to make it through the year, right? I said that's what I wanted for Mason Graham, right? I wanted him to make it through the year. Well, he did. make it through the year. Here's the problem. I knew he was dealing with a little something. This is what he had going on with him in terms of Browns defensive tackle Mason Graham confirms he played through a broken rib at the end of this season. It cracked against the San Francisco 49ers, and it fully broke early in the game against the Tennessee Titans. I respect that. Let me just tell you something. About a few months ago, I had these, I was working out. I tore these little cartilage pieces in my rib cage. Man, I thought I was dying. I was on WebMD asking, what does it feel like? I'm like, bro, it had me convinced I was out of here. I went to the doctor for it. It is painful as heck. The fact that he played football games with broken ribs is crazy. I fully expect Mason Graham to have a bounce back year. I fully expect him to work on his functional strength in lower body, and he talked about doing that. And I think Carson Schlesinger is going to be a Pro Bowler. I think he's going to be. We actually got one of them linebackers, and I think we was on that same type of time with JOK. And it's a shame he got injured where his trajectory was. But I think Carson Schlesinger is going to be he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. He'll be one of the best. He was one of the best linebackers last year. Brody's Byline, G. Bush, you the reason why my YouTube channel up. Love the Top 5 show in the Final Cut. We appreciate you, my guy. By the way, there is no Top 5 this weekend. No Top 5 this weekend. It will return next weekend. Rosie is on vacation. She was supposed to be on vacation starting yesterday, but she was nice enough to come on Saturday and do the show. So she's like, I will be on vacation. So I'm like, all right, well, we can't do it. So shout out to Rosie B on vacation. So no Top 5, but we'll be back next week. Final Cut will be back. Me and Earl the Pearl, Tyvis is actually on maternity leave. So man, y'all working me. All these associates out here, which y'all just going, yeah, everybody off? Well, we'll be back. Me and Earl the Pro will be back. We'll have a guest too. So we'll keep it kicking. MABBS. Practice King hasn't even had a 300-yard game in the Browns and Orange. By the way, it took 2-3 games to achieve that, and he did. Hold on. Hold on. We're not about to do that. Hold on. You might be right. Man. Hold on. Can you hold me down? Can you hold me down real quick? Let me see this. Let me see. This is crazy. This is nuts. Thank you for giving me that. This is crazy. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. This is wild work, bro. Man, this is crazy. Hold on. Let me see. This is crazy work. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Let me see. Let me see this. Dang, this is wild work. So this is crazy. So you mentioned that 365 that people talked about. And I think this perspective should come through. All right. I want to show you this because it's in real time. And I want to show you because I like doing this. This is the best part of the show. Did I freeze? I probably freeze. Here we go. So let me take these down and I'm going to show you. Remove this. Remove this. Give me 1 second. This is crazy. I think people don't understand the level of what that game was. And I think the most disrespectful part of it is people literally will not even talk about it as if it happened. These folks will not even acknowledge it. And you know, and by the way, I was the first one to say disingenuous. Stop using my words and you don't know what it means. The fact that this man threw for that many yards while not playing as a backup and not getting is insane. And the crazy part about it is they won't even mention it. Oh, if you mention it, it was one game. This is tell me you don't know football without telling me. Like it's kind of crazy. And as you watch this, and when you put these numbers into perspective, here we go. Let me see what this is. Let me just download this real quick. I just want to see. Can we download this right quick? Let me set you up real quick. Where you at? Mm-hmm. We appreciate this. We appreciate it. Here we go. Can we throw this out here? Oh, wow. Let me see this. Can I make this bigger? Can we just make this bigger? Because it's look crazy. So, where's that? Hold on, let me bring this down. Hold on. He says practice king. So, 364 yards, 4 total touchdowns. 23 of 42, 364, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 interception. So what did this actually mean? The first quarterback since at least 1950 to record 300 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 touchdown in a game. First rookie quarterback ever to throw for 300 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in the same game. Joined Joe Burrow as the only rookie in the Super Bowl era with 350-plus pass yards, 3 pass touchdowns, and 1 touchdown. In his third NFL start, not one, the third one. This is how off-key and ridiculous the debates are when it comes to he's the worst quarterback of all time. You done lost your mind. How can you throw for that many yards and you're the worst quarterback of this? Is why I be tell y'all guys, I'm telling you, put it in perspective. It was one game though. It was just one game. Well, why ain't nobody else do it? In his third NFL start, led 2 late TD drives to bring the Browns within 2 in the fourth quarter. And then while he was there with his father in attendance, your boy, your best friend, your cousin, your golfing buddy, Kevin Stefanski takes him off the field to run a reverse throwback trick pass. I need somebody to refute it. Let me just go ahead and just do this. Can we do this? Feel free to use that graphic. I don't hate on nobody. You can use it if you want to. Let me just get to the regular stuff. If you're putting Shedeur Sanders' 364 4-touchdown performance against the Titans into Cleveland Browns history, it was one of the most explosive games a Browns quarterback has ever had, especially as a rookie. Stat line verified. You saw what it was. First Browns quarterback since 1950 to do it. One of the greatest rookie quarterback games in the history of the game. History, not like yesterday, like history. But he was the worst quarterback. Who says who? Because you said it? Look at this. Look at this. While it's not the franchise record for passing yards in a game, 364 is still in elite territory. Bernie Kosar, multiple 400-yard games. Well, looky here. Look at Shedeur Sanders right up underneath him. He did it in his only third NFL start. Bottom line, Shedeur's performance against the Titans wasn't just a good rookie game. It was arguably one of the greatest 5 to 10 rookie quarterback performances in Brown history. And statistically, it produced a combination of passing yards, passing touchdowns, rushing production that no Browns quarterback had achieved since 1950. Please have 8 seats. This is why when you say, G. Bush, why do you argue? Why didn't you say this? Why come you don't be saying this? Because it's less impactful. I'd rather put it up like this in a graphic and then say, refute it. Refute it, refute it, refute it. I'd rather put it up like that. That's why it's G. Bush in the barbershop and it's cold. Talk about no EPA. Thanks, Rosie. Appreciate you. See, y'all don't got no accountant where y'all at. Y'all don't got one of those. I can just get that off. Bye. DeJuan says, the Brown is my new favorite team, and I'm a Detroit Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers fan. I echo that, brother. Hashtag 2 and G. Bush have turned me into a Browns fan. That's what I'm talking about. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Cheryl Daniels, thanks, Rosie, for a great morning of content. By the way, Autumn hoodies is out. Them T-shirts be hot and ready. We got them out too. Y'all not working like this. Y'all not working. We got to give her, listen, if I ain't give her no vacation, she gonna charge me. She taxing me. She already talked about she didn't want to raise. It's crazy. You ain't got this. Congrats again, G. Bush, for the awesome Colorado interview. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. David, I'm a Panthers fan for over 30 years, and I watch more Browns content since Shedeur been there. Hope to see you at a game in week 3. Hashtag New Cleveland. David Walker, we appreciate you. G, you got to check out the Queen Gambit. I think you and Rosie would love it. Can you mark that on the list? We take that look. Lindsay away. Thank you, G. Bush. Just occurred to me after listening to you that maybe the wide receivers could drop in Shedeur's balls because the test is to catch the ball under pressure and in mass traffic. You see? You see? They understanding the homework. I think people don't understand sports injuries. Ain't no way Deshaun Watson is a quarterback. Also, thank you, bro, for all you do. This is only the beginning for you. Come back to protocol. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Hopefully, Deshaun Watson, I want to, listen, I always say this, and I wish nothing but the best for Deshaun Watson. I want the best for the Cleveland Browns. I want the best for our players. I want the best for everybody on the roster. And I think the Cleveland Browns want best for him. That's why they're rehabilitating him and making sure he get an opportunity. Because I'm going to just tell you what. They was trying to get him canceled. They was trying to get him up out of here. They was already saying he should be out of the league. Beautifully blessed. I just needed to say good morning and God bless the barbershop fan. Hashtag New Cleveland. We here. Beautifully blessed. Thank you so much. I also love your profile picture. They got a little storm in that. Little X-Men. Anthony LaFleur threw for 33 yards. He's a franchise quarterback, but Shedeur ain't talking about 33 yards. But Dart is the guy. He ain't throw for no 364, did he? Where his 364 at? See, I tell you, they diminish you all the time. They'll diminish you all the time. They will diminish you all the time. It's kind of like how they told you, G. Bush ain't got no sources. Says who? Because you didn't say so? Who said that? How you going to tell me? Okay. Well, they don't say that no more, no. Hi, Mom. DeJuan, Sanders already won the game. They just running up the score. The score, they've been up by 20. They up 20. They just trying to do guys' work. Hey, listen, Weenie Roast, I need all my super chats back. That was nasty work. I apologize. I do. I really do. Cheryl Daniels, G. Bush Rosie Barbershop is my new home for all things Cleveland Browns content and information and info. The last Browns news and footage. Just love my barbershop. And thank you, G. Bush. Hashtag New Cleveland. Cheryl, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you over here. We appreciate everybody. Everybody. We even appreciate the haters. But we appreciate you people and the fans for the support and coming on over here and making a barbershop an actual community. A lot of people say community. They don't be that. They just be saying it. But we really be moving that way. Thank you so much. V Price in 1981. G Bush is the truth. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, V Price. Nancy says, you could be a troll all you want, but there's a difference between being a troll and making fun of someone, but body language speaks volumes about how he feels. You know, the body language experts. It's funny because they feel Shedeur is a source of energy and a source of content, which means trickles down to prosperity and it trickles down to economics. But they also don't like that it also comes with a level of people that are excited, that really surround him, that are energetic about him. And let me just tell you what, the way they talked about Deshaun Watson, they thought that they was going to get that same thing off with Shedeur Sanders. And I told them it wasn't going to be that. I say there's two different bases. Because some of the same thing that they did with Shedeur, they done did before. This is not new. It was going crazy about Deshaun Watson, and all the same stuff you heard is the same thing. But they couldn't get that off. I told them before it started. They didn't believe me. They believe me now. Real Night King, by the way, it's on Netflix. I got Netflix too. We're going to have to check that out. We're going to check that out. Mr. Johnson says, at work with my welding helmet on, collecting this OT, listen to you cook on this good Saturday morning. Hey, man, shout out to all the third stringers, all the third shifters. What I mean, if you putting in that midnight shift, if you on swing shifts, if you on that manual labor game, if you a welder, you tied off on the side of something, you know what I'm saying? You on a highway right now with the jackhammer. Salute to you, man. We appreciate everybody out there that's putting in that hard work. Shout out to my servers. Shout out to my people working in them kitchens. Shout out to my people that's watching somebody else's kids, babysitting. Shout out to the people that's in nursing homes, that's watching people in nursing homes, making sure mothers and fathers have dignity in their end life stages. Them is the real people, man. I was working in a trauma unit, going to talk to folks, right? So I appreciate that hard work. This ain't no hard work. I be talking, that's why I get so animated sometimes. I be mad when people talk, man, they treat me bad. I can't believe, bro, we don't even work, man. This ain't no hard work. Man, this dude's out here really putting in time. Really got to put them welding boots on. Shout out to you, Mr. Johnson, out here cooking. This dude's crying about what they do. This ain't no work. This is light. Al on the prowl. Thank you so much for a super chat. We appreciate you. Brody's bottom line. Funny DTR looking like a real quarterback in the UFL without Kevin. Hey, DTR was cooking for about 5 seconds. I told you, Brody. We're going to see what it is. We're going to see when Atlanta comes down. Under no circumstances, Cleveland Browns, do we lose to Kevin Stefanski. It's a mandate. We cannot do it. We cannot. I will not go back to UCSS and sit there amongst my brethren and have that Kevin Stefanski stain on my shirt. We got to get it done. JB Smooth, Shedeur becoming the NFL quarterback, timing intermediate routes, real reps. Deshaun Watson in backyard mode, smoking mirrors and OTA. Shedeur is the guy. It's not close media showing a hand reporting 6 touchdowns at OTA. Hey, the 6 touchdown tracker had cats. The 6 touchdown tracker had cats hot. Somebody had you. Hey, say, bro, listen, boy. This is why I love this. Hit the like button. Greetings. You said that I saw, and I saw a game night. You said it, and I saw a game night. 365 was on the screen at some point. When did it get reduced to 364? Hey, listen. Somebody was like, "Hey, listen, we can't do that. Hey, take." I said, "But we can't take the touchdowns away. Just take a yard off. Take an arbitrary yard. They'll get the point." Rosie on the graphics is the best in the business. Dewan, we appreciate it. I said, man, we'll give you 2 seconds. Give you a couple seconds. Figure it out. I don't know what type of AI she got over there, bro. She don't even let me go look at that computer over there. My computer different. She got that real Dylan Gabriel Pentel Pentium processor over there. Hey, David Wall, we ain't a community, it's a movement. Man, let me just tell y'all something. Y'all gonna pay when the Browns is back. In the words of Coach Prime, you better catch us while we down. You better get us now. I'll tell you right now, you better get us now. Because when we up, we about to be obnoxious. You better hope the Browns ain't good this year. That's a warning. You better hope the Cleveland football Browns are not good this year. Because if they good, we gonna be obnoxious. So you might want to convert. You got a couple of you got time. We ain't had no preseasons, then campaign came around. But you might want to go ahead and convert. Because I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be obnoxious. We're gonna be laughing, joking. We in every comment section. We taking over every internet little spot. We ain't nowhere you can hide. The Browns gonna be everywhere, and you might as well get on the ground level. If you actually want to root for your team, if you actually want to hear about your team, if you actually want to hear about people, we talked about a lot of people today. If you want to hear and you want to actually hear about your Cleveland Browns, you might not live in the States. You might be in Florida, Texas. You might be in Europe. You might be in South America. You might be in Australia. You might be in Iceland. People want to hear about their team. They don't want to hear about what you think they're not going to do. They want to hear about their team. They want to hear about what their team is going to do, what the young guys is going to do, what you see them doing, how they going to move, what the progress is, what the coaches implemented. Not the same old conversation about other people's quarterbacks and other teams. This is Cleveland Browns territory. If you would like to do other content, we suggest you do that other content. Don't mean nobody going to watch it. There's a reason why you don't do other content, because the Browns is now. So get in on the ground level and let's get it going, because we got the movement going. The new Cleveland is moving. The thing that I want to leave y'all with today, more than anything, is despite all the quarterback conversation, the Cleveland Browns are cooking. They got young, exciting, talented players that want to be here, that want to have the crowd behind him, that want to have and feel that emotion that their fan base is coming to see them play. They want it. The young guys is asking for it. Shedeur done said it. Quincy Williams just had a situation. He said, man, I heard this is like Bills Mafia. I'm going to see they do the uppercut with me. They asking for that energy. They coming from big programs. They come from Texas A&M. They coming from Washington. They coming from Ohio State. They coming from big programs where it's 100,000 people showing love every single game. And it's life or death for them people. They show up to the tailgates. They show up everywhere. They're looking for somebody to get behind them. And if certain people just gonna keep it like they're gonna keep it, we're gonna ignore them and keep it rolling. You tell them to catch up. But they're looking for some people. And they young dudes. I was here when Joe Flacco was cooking. I was here when that stadium was different. I was here watching when Bernie had it cooking, when the Browns wasn't a laughing stock. I don't care nothing about, the Browns been a dumpster fire. Well, keep reporting that. My job ain't to report they've been a dumpster fire. My job is to say what happened when they ain't going to be a dumpster fire. What happens when we is cooking? That's what I want. And so this is what we going to do. I don't care nothing about that. The haters going to hate, the talkers going to talk. But the thing we going to continue to do is when the Browns get good, when they really get good, and we ain't trying to hear none of that. We ain't trying to hear what you talking about. We've been told you what it was. And right now, from what I'm seeing at camp, and from what I'm hearing, all that 5 to 7 wins and woe is me is out the door. They got some dogs. young, hungry dogs, dialed in, ready to go, and a coach that ain't trying to hear nothing y'all talking about. So with that being said, where else would you rather be? Hit that subscribe button. You can go out there and listen to all that. No disrespect, but I'm not trying to hear about the Steelers or the Ravens or the Bengals because we feel that this division is wide open. We feel it's wide open. Y'all got to prove it. Show me. Show me you still got it. Show me. Tim, what's up, bro? Shout out to the Philippines. What up? Still here. Tim in the Philippines, we salute you. You know I know what you is. I know who you is. We still here. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush might show up, radio, television, internet, but if you want a fresh cut on sports, I got 1,000 shows. Top 5. Final cut. Restaurants. Clothing. Merchandise. Everything. And don't forget, we got something. I ain't going to tell y'all because it's too big. But just know, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Oh, we get all of them. In the words of Matthew Perry Thomas, when the suds die down, the dirt will show. Shedeur legendary. And we ain't even got no more. Have a good rest of your weekend. And now, actually, it's always, you know what it is. Go Browns.